Veterans approach. Love to hear that from Jose Ramirez, and he figures to be a big factor in tonight's game four for Stephen Kwan. We check that batting order for the Guardians with Stephen Kwan.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? A little bit of emergency cast sorts as plans opened up here on a Thursday, October 10th, 2024. I can't believe the calendar continues to turn so quickly. And here we are yet again. I did not expect, as I told you before, against the Houston Astros to be calling playoff games alongside the Detroit Tigers. But we are in the stretch of the ALDS. This is game four, and the Tigers have a 2-1 series lead in the best of five against the Cleveland Guardians. So for the Guardians, they're up to the bat rack first. They're going to be taking on Reese Olson. It'll be Stephen Kwan, Kyle Manzardo, and Jose Ramirez to get it all set underway. As first pitch is underway with a fastball, and Reese Olson delivers the right corner for a strike. So John Underwood on the call. We're going to take you all the way through and help a sports guy and give you the coverage, the call, and everything else as we usually do. That's a wicked curveball for Reese. Make it 0-2. That was a 12-6 that dropped right off the plate. So good start here for Olson. Again, he did pitch 5 innings in the game one side for Detroit. We know that he could be a number 3 starter, probably at worst right now for the Tigers, but the way that they've been kind of wheeling and dealing alongside A.J. Hinch with Tarek Skubal being the primary and the guy that is one of the best pitchers in all of baseball, if they need Tarek Skubal, he will be ready for Game 5 on Saturday. 0-2 pitch again. And Stephen Kwan will take that same 12-6 for a ball. So pitch number 5 is Kwan falls off the previous and lays off the next. Stephen Kwan is one of the very best at putting bat on baseball, kind of like Luis Ariz, but with a little bit more power and some speed. And that is a great at-bat for Kwan as he serves at the right field. So he took some tough pitches. He just found what he liked there and served it in the left field next to Riley Green. So it's been a while since the Cleveland Guardians scored a couple runs. You can talk about the last 2 games combined because the Guardians are actually outscoring the Tigers in this series 7-6. Tigers lost the first game 7-0. They won the next 2 by identical scores of 3-0. I don't think that is going to happen today. If I had my guess, even as a diehard Tigers fan, we mix in there with all the hockey stuff with the Red Wings. We had a good opener with Cooper Hopkins with Calgary Flames and Vancouver Canucks last night. That was a great cast. I think we're going to go to Game 5, but I know we got a long way to go. We're going to call this the whole way through and see what happens. But I would expect the Guardians to wake up here because if Skubal's going to make things difficult tomorrow, you've got to win this one today. That's where I'm at right now. So Kyle Manzardo, 2-0 count. Stephen Kwan already reached at first with a base hit. And we'll see what this youngster can do, just 24 years of age. He will get the friendly call, a good frame job there for Jake Rogers, and a changeup just in the low bottom part of the box. For Manzardo, just 53 games in this season, just kind of a fresh call of 5 home runs, 15 RBI, 11 runs, 9 walks, 41 strikeouts in the regular season. They do like the power in his potential at bat. As this one way outside on a slider, make it 3-1. For Reese Olson, scroll down in the notes here, 4-8, 353 ERA, 118 whip, 66 walks, 204 strikeouts. 3-1 pitch. This is right down the middle, and this is served. Now, Kwan has speed, but I think he's going to just station to station it. So first and second, couple back-to-back base hits against Reese Olson. 5 pitches apiece, 2 hits across, and the Guardians are in business here. You might think of this going into it. So for a slider, 4-seam changeup sinker for Reese, that is probably about a 25% somewhere split. That kind of gives you the deal that he throws 4 pitches evenly. The curveball, very rare on that. So he's only thrown about maybe 80 to 100 in the regular season. So between 94 to 80. Now way outside against Jose Ramirez. And this is almost danger time right now, very early in the game for the Tigers. Regardless if this goes lopsided, we're calling this all the way through. We've seen the Tigers tighten up out of some jams. I just don't know if they're going to be able to do it right now. 1-0. And Ramirez, wow, they're going to say when. I don't think he did. It is 1-1. As Jose Ramirez looks a long look over to third base to say, "Are you kidding me?" And Stephen Vogt doing the same thing. I honestly don't blame the Guardians there. I don't think he'd win. That's really a suspect call. Make it 1-1. That could change this complexion of the at bat. Jose struggled a little bit in this ALCS, but not there. Big swing, right field. This is foul. Just shy of the pole. That could have been a double. That could have probably scored Kwan rather easily. Make it 1-2. And the only way I preface this for saying it for Jose Ramirez is just the quantifiable amount that the Tigers use as far as pitchers. You always have a different look. It's a switch bat. Never gets to get on the same side. Never gets comfortable. Jose Ramirez is an absolute machine, though, and those numbers are going to percolate up. You can't believe what you see. Spiked in the dirt. Good block by Jake. That made sure that none of the runners went over to second, third, as it's still 2-2. Guardians still don't have anybody out here as we're just getting underway. Comerica Park on top of the first. John here with you. It's a 2-2 count against Jose Ramirez. Happy to be here just to be able to call some of these games, to be honest with you. And Ramirez with a rope. This one followed on the right field line, and we'll do it again. So he's been on this baseball right now. The race has already thrown 15 pitches. He has not recorded an out. 279 for Jose, 39 bombs, 118 RBI, 114 runs scored, and 41 stolen bases for the 32-year-old. That is everything that you would want. Ramirez, shallow to Riley Green. Crisis averted there as Reese Olson records his first out. And that is a really good bat to get. You still got to deal with all the smoke and Josh Naylor. He's a very good power hitter. This is a really good Cleveland Guardians team. So again, 2 for 20 since the first inning game over Burns in scoring position. I don't think that's going to last, considering what this lineup's going to bring to you. It makes you shake your head. Josh Naylor, 3 of 11 with an RBI in this postseason. Again, they get that bye before they go up to play the Tigers because of winning the division. 94. That one will go right into the bottom right corner. That would have been a good pitch for Naylor to swing at, but I'll take it for a strike. Now for Naylor, you don't want to mess around with him. As you said, he's got a lot of power. 58 walks, 105 strikeouts, so about a decent ratio there. He's not going to swing blind as it's 0-1. Runner takes off at third. That's Stephen Kwan on a curveball. Stephen Kwan will get the extra 90 feet, so now a sac fly will get the job done. That's great work for Stephen. Nobody even paid attention to him as he was going from second to third. Reese Olson took way too long to deliver the pitch. So that's a costly 90 feet there for Detroit. Unless they can turn some sort of double play here, Stephen Kwan probably gets something going here with a sac fly from Naylor. Pitch number 19 on a 1-1 count. Another curve. That one misses outside. 2-1. Lane Thomas. He was the pickup from Washington. He will be next. And then again, the Nats are not what we remember them over the last few years with Bryce Harper and Juan Soto and Scherzer and company when they won the World Series. Lane Thomas was a good player for them. Big cut for Naylor. He went fishing for the downs on a changeup. He did not find it. 2-2. As Reese Olson continues to rack up his pitch count, but it won't matter if you're going to get these outs. And man, oh man, that bounce before he even got that full swing off. 2-2 coming to Naylor. Kwan took the extra 90, so a sac fly could score him. He swings and misses. He looked like Prince Fielder there. He went for something way off the plate, and Reese Olson says, "Thank you very much." My goodness. I did not expect that for Josh Naylor, but he was just kind of looked like he was swinging a pole cue. Now Lane Thomas, you can see what you want to do here. He only got a 237 average, 15 bombs, 63 RBI. He does have a ton of speed. Will Brennan is in the 6th hole for Stephen Vogt's squad today. Again, just a minor adjustment with Jimenez and Brennan at 6-7 switch. He's on the first pitch. It's going to score a run. Good work there for Thomas. That extra 90 feet was big because that would have been bases loaded. But Kwan steals third, and it scores the run subsequently for Cleveland. And they're on the run right foot here. 1-0 Guardians. Excellent work there for Stephen Kwan, but even better there for Lane Thomas. Goes in the first pitch, attacks against Reese Olson. And that is a makeup at bat from Josh Naylor, who I thought was going to do much better, but they'll take it from Thomas. So it's the first run scored in 2 games for Cleveland as they got a 1-0 lead. And Will Brennan thought about it. They'll take another look. Now that one was closer than the one that was called against Jose Ramirez. This time it's a ball. This is a check swing, but Ramirez, I think he kind of got boned on that last call. 24 pitches in Olson's days through 2/3 of an inning. He's already given up an RBI. He cannot give up any more here. You want to keep this close. 95, close enough, I guess. On the top right part of the box, make it 1-1. So Brennan, 264, 8 bombs, 30 RBI, 37 runs, 19 walks, 48 strikeouts for the 26-year-old. This Cleveland team is still very young as well. Curveball. Lolly popped at 78, but that was well outside the zone. As Vogt pretty happy, clapping his hands. I imagine they're making Reese Olson work. That is what you want right now if you're Cleveland. You got to be able to score some runs and make that starter work, regardless if you get that chaos day that AG likes to do. 2-1. This is a good cut on a changeup, but just out in front. Could have sprayed that right back up the middle if he was more on time. In the ALDS, Brennan's only had 1 at bat. This is a good leverage here early with runners at first and second and 1 already in the form of Stephen Kwan by Lane Thomas. 2-2. Get the sign from Rogers. Olson trying to get out of this with limited damage. Cue shot. Right to third. And this will be tossed to Torkelson. Tigers limit the damage, but Stephen Kwan takes the 90 feet. He scores that run from Lane Thomas. 1-0 Cleveland as we go bottom 1. Thank you guys jumping in. I'm going to try to be as neutral as possible in this call. You know that I got the Tigers jersey on, but I do like the AL Central. Cleveland's a good squad. Chef says, good to see you back, buddy. I appreciate that. I did not expect to be calling Tigers postseason games, and he also gives me a Let's Go Red Wings. We know we had a lot of that bond between Montreal and Detroit, and hoping they would get into postseason, but Philadelphia didn't hold their end of the bargain, did they? So because the Tigers are in the postseason, that means the Red Wings game will be delayed, I think, until about 8-10 Eastern. And we will continue to follow along in those scores. We will have other ALCS action with the Yanks and the Royals. Pinstripers trying to close them out. Again, if the Tigers win, that would be their next opponent. So we'll see where that goes. Yeah, I'm hoping. Here's what I hope, Chef, is that the Tigers get this done today, because my plan was to cover the Red Wings Saturday against Steven Stamkos and Jonathan Marchessault. Austin Watson is the local kid. I know he's not a kid anymore, but pretty exciting to have him in the bottom 6 as well. There's going to be some grit and sandpaper on this team and some good contracts in between Raymond and Sider that were signed that did not break the bank. So 1-0 lead for the Guardians as we get set to start from the short commercials and the Tigers bottom of the first. Again, as I promised, regardless however way this game goes, I will cover the whole way through, even if we get some sort of bloodletting. But my hope is Tigers again get this done today so we can go to the Wings on Saturday. If not, we'll be covering Tarek Skubal in Game 5 because it's only right. You got to do it. Next week, I might be away for a couple days, Monday and Tuesday, because I got immunizations to get on a trip following next month. So I could be sick and down for a couple days after Sunday. Kane Tarasenko look is going to be fun to watch. Yes, absolutely. If you go down to the red carpet today for the Red Wings, I would imagine those will be popular signatures to get. I hope that I'm pronouncing this correctly, and I'm making sure I'm not saying it like BB. Tanner Bybee will be the starter for Cleveland. 12-8, 3.47 ERA in the regular season. It'll be the normal lineup for Detroit, as we'll scroll back down to the notes here, where it has a host of lefties against a righty. Parker Meadows, Kerry Carpenter, and Matt Vierling. I didn't have to do much changing in my notes because this is the same as Game 2 in the wild card series against the Houston Astros. Parker Meadows has been, I don't know if I can say a revelation as far as offense, but on defense, he does everything. And when he gets into the late innings, that's when he perks up and scores key runs. 1-1. As Bybee just got this off in time for a pitch violation in 96 on the outside black, make it 1-2. Scroll back down in the notes here for the Guardians. Tanner Bybee, 3.47 ERA, 112 WHIP, 44 walks, 187 strikeouts. 95 will be high and outside. He features a four-seam slide change curve, and that is all of the four-pitch mix between 94 and 81 miles an hour. He will throw the strike. He will throw the strike in all zones with all pitches. That's what he's kind of known for. He is going to rack them up. And Parker Meadows, this will be a shallow fly ball. Is this going to fall? You got three converging and swan diving towards second. They're not going to be able to catch it or get the throw in time. And Parker Meadows, with a little bit of a duck snort, gets a double. And the Tigers already have some danger lurking on the base paths. So leadoff double for Parker Meadows. That might be good to go ahead and see the rest of it. Catch you over some games soon, says Chef. I appreciate that, my friend, and it's good to see you as well. I hope you take care. You do well. I hope you have a great weekend. And go Red Wings, go Tigers. Again, we got to throw that out there as much as I can. I'll be as neutral as I can during this call. I might get excited at certain times, but still got a job to do here. This is Kerry Carpenter. He was the hero in Game 2 for Detroit. His 3-run shot with 2 outs in the top of the 9th gave the Tigers the victory as Bo Brisky did the rest of the work. That was a series potential changer. Kerry now has a job to do with Parker Meadows at second. Curveball. Parker Meadows, he turns on this, and Kerry Carpenter crushes it, but it's foul. That would have had the distance. 1-1. That was a curveball up in the happy zone. So longest hit streak to begin postseason career, Charlie Gehringer, 1934 had 7. Parker Meadows has 6. He's just tied Al Kaline from 1968, Mr. Tiger. Holy cow. That is some history for Parker. 1-1 on Kerry. Bybee, this is another high pitch and a changeup. Is this going to stay in play for Bo Naylor, who discards the mask? He will just watch this go softly behind the stands from some young fan who has a Jose Iglesias jersey. Again, he is still in the postseason now as his Mets have advanced a grand slam from Francisco Lindor. So we still got Jose Iglesias and JD Martinez, former Tigers, in the postseason, as Nick Castellanos and the Phillies have been eliminated by the Mets. 1-2, and they'll call the time. It's Kerry Carpenter, so that's the only one he's got. Still got 2 disengagements. And that's Kirk Gibson throwing the first pitch to Justin Henry Malloy. Again, he's just having to be able to call some playoff games and watch this one in. Again, he called in the local station with a ticket, and everybody laughed him off the air. Said the Tigers are going to be a playoff team. I guess he was right. 1-2. Another pitch high. I guess that's where they want to try to get Kerry Carpenter out. Now, I know it's the first, but in the 9th against Emmanuel Clase, it was nothing but sliders, and Kerry Carpenter got a one that was hung in the middle and crushed it. So if they keep doing the same thing, Kerry's probably going to be prone to it. Figure it out. 2-2. Bybee way outside on a changeup. And right now, he's missing up and away with a lot of his pitches here early. On the bottom of the first round, within the call, Cleveland's got a 1-0 lead. Lane Thomas RBI single scored Kwan. That's where we are right now. Tigers are just getting going here, bottom first. And now disengagement from Carpenter. So either Bybee used one and Carpenter's already used his. So he gets set to duel again at the 3-2. Matt Vierling will be next. Full count pitch. Bybee delivers this one high from Carpenter as he continues to work this at bat. Again, a lead-off double, a Ducksmore variety for Parker Meadows as it's split in between short, center, and right. Kwan in a full dive, not able to get to that one. Full count again for Carey. This is the third time. And Bybee all the way down to 0. Up high, and Kerry Carpenter goes fishing. That was a ball that was near toward his eyes, and he swung anyway. So Josh Naylor in the complete reverse on the low to high to Kerry Carpenter. And man, oh man, that seemed like that should have been an easy walk. He had really no intent to go after Kerry Carpenter here, and now Bybee might be able to get out of this and just figure it out, not give up anything. We'll see what Matt Bierling is going to do, and then Riley Green will be batting cleanup. So they're going to the Bo Naylor ump cam here around the catching side. So this is going to be harder to call balls and strikes as this one is outside. Make it 1-0. So Bierling, he made a pretty good catch in game 3 if you're following along. That off the jump toward the third base side kind of saved a couple runs, and he kept a second 3-0 victory for Detroit. 1-0 inside on a sinker, and Bybee's been all over the place right now to start this game. 257 for Matt in the regular season, 16 bombs, 57 RBI, 80 runs scored, 41 walks, 121 strikeouts. Still only 27. Not a lot of postseason experience for the Tigers on this roster, and Bierling is one of them. This is out front. This is going to be a lazy fly. Parker's going to have to stay right where he is. Tigers in threat of just jamming Parker Meadows up to the leadoff double. But that really kind of started from Kerry Carpenter's poor at bat. He swung at a pitch way toward his eyeballs. Should have easily been runners on first and second. So Bierling can't a Kwan pop out short. And now we have Riley Green as the last hope. Cole Keith, if Riley Green gets a hit, would be next. 158 this postseason with just an RBI and a 484 OPS. So no power just yet for Green. Parker Meadows still stationed at second. Another four-seam. I think deliberately at this point. Maybe he misses spots, but deliberately way outside for Bybee. 412 as the fences have been moved in at Comerica Park this season. It used to be 420, a little bit more. As they said, not as many home runs for the Tigers, because more home runs for everybody. Riley Green. This is shallow left. Stephen Kwan, ton of speed, no problem. And that's a missed opportunity for Detroit because Parker Meadows had a leadoff double, but no more. And it's still 1-0 after 1.
There's some feelings you can get with any sports book. No. Oh. What you want to do? But the feeling that no matter what, you're taken care of. Oh, I just heard the hotel. You don't get that here. That's Sportsbook Boy in Vegas. They know how to treat you right. Bonus bets, exclusive offers, real world rewards. BetMGM. Download and bet today.
So Parker Meadows gets a leadoff double and nothing more. As we will get set to go to the second, it's still 1-0 Cleveland. Could have been a lot worse for Reese Olson. And we'll see if he can settle into the second and try to keep this game close. If the Tigers keep this within 2-3 runs, the way that they've played over the last month and a half, can't count them out. And again, that's not more of a lead-in or a cliche saying. It's actually the truth at this point for the Tigers. So they keep it close enough throughout this game. We'll see if there are going to be any heroics later. But right now, as it stands, 1-0 for the land. That's their hashtag as we get settled to go to the second. Thank you guys for joining in floods. I know we'll be going up and down like a roller coaster because I can't show any of the actual TV side, but you can listen on the MLB app with Dan Dickerson there with Detroit. You can listen on the Cleveland side as well and sync it up with your TV if you have that. Or if not, I will give you the full play-by-play. You can hang out with me and leave your comments. As always, happy to talk any and all sports. NFL is not as much my forte, but if we go through baseball, hockey especially, I can definitely talk your ear off on that if you want to. We had some good openers in between Florida and Boston, and the banner night with Mr. Alec Nava and myself, and then Cooper Hopkins joined me last night for the opener for a third year in a row. with the Calgary Flames as they won a 6-5 victory. That was a crazy one over the Vancouver Canucks last night as we are waiting to get started for the second. As we do that, let me make sure that I pull up my ESPN boxes.
Small was made with high protein, preservative-free ingredients that I can actually recognize on the label.
So for the Guardians, it'll be 7-8-9 Andres Jimenez at second, Bo Naylor catching, and Brian Roquillo at short, who is a switch bat. 7-8-9 for Stephen Vogt's squad. So Yankees Royals, that'll be about 8:15 Eastern. And then the only other game tomorrow is a game 5. Be glued to your TV if you're a baseball fan there for the Pods and Dodgers. That one at Dodger Stadium. So let's get back into the play-by-play as Reese Olson in the second inning delivers ball 1 against Andres Jimenez. A ton of speed, another 30 stolen bases as Jimenez takes a fastball and serves it just foul on the catch side. So 252, 9 bombs, 63 RBI. You think the average for Jimenez, especially a couple seasons ago when he really broke out, could be higher? Maybe the power could be higher, but you'll definitely take the 30 bags with the 26 walks. He's still a young player at 26. They're going to say that he went and make it 1-2 on a changeup. The swing broke the plane of the plate. We're just really getting underway at Comerica Park. John on here with you on the call. It is a 1-0 lead for Cleveland as they finally broken through the seal. Last couple games they did not score. This is a curveball, and Jimenez will fight it off at 78. Because the Tigers are in the postseason and the Red Wings get their open puck drop to start the year against the Pittsburgh Penguins, the Red Wings have moved their game to about 8:15 start time for them. So hopefully after this game is done, I can be a happy camper and watch both. Swing and a miss on a curveball, try to complete the strikeout. That was a toss where Torkelson had to jump to get it, but then he stepped on the back. So they did get the out of the strike him out, throw him out. That wasn't exactly clean for Jake, but Spencer Torkelson did take care of the rest. So Jimenez does punch out, and Bo Naylor will be next. Again, I'm very interested, and again, it's maybe just because of MLB The Show 24, but David Fry got one of those 99 overall cards a little bit earlier in the year, correct? And he has a catcher, first base, infield kind of split that they could throw him there. Right now they go with Bo and behind the dish, but for Fry, he was 263, 14 bombs, 51 RBI, 44 runs, 42 walks, 84 strikeouts. And that's a bench bet that they can use for Naylor. He's got similar damage for home run totals at 13, but he only hits 201. That's 0-2 count here for Reese, and he wants to get a quick top of this inning. And yes, he does. 92. That was a pitch inside of a fastball that was not close to the zone. Bo Naylor just obliges anyway. He's going to go grab some pine. So Roquillo will be the last hope for the Guardians. And I'm not sure what Naylor was even looking at. And again, you see it in the camera shots sometimes, and I know hitting is as hard as it is. And you can say these guys are the best in the world, but he kind of closed his eyes as he swung that. And that's pretty much had the same effect that I would there if you swing at that kind of pitch. 84 on a slider on the outside black. Good pitch for Reese. Maybe some settling in the bottom of this order. Makes it a little bit easier because when you shift back up to the top, that's where the danger can lurk. 0-1. Another good look there on a strike of another curve at 0-2. All Roquillo can do is shake his head. Tigers have a lot to cheer about right now. If Reese Olson can just go 3 up, 3 down here in top 2. We'll see what AJ's plan is going to be through the pitching chaos as Vogt's on the top step. Pitch number 38, try to finish it off right here. The setup is high. Roquillo will oblige, and this one will get fouled down the third base line, and we'll do it again. Reese Olson was drafted by the Milwaukee Brewers, and as he's moved through the organization, the Tigers made a couple trades. I think in with the Mets, that was the one that brought him in for Reese. Kind of a throw-in. Turned into a pretty good pitcher for Detroit as more of a throw-in. We're talking about a guy that's just almost in a situation of a player to be named later. You know, you've heard that phrase before. Probably Reese Olson. He's going to be in this rotation, middle relief. mix of it probably for a long time for Detroit. I'd have to imagine that they're happy to have him. 1-2. Changeup. Again, a lot of movement on these off-speed pitches. Curveballs have a lot of drop to it, a lot of sink from that changeup there. 40 pitches in Olson's day, though, so his gasoline on that arm is starting to be used up. 2-2 in the second. It's 1-0 for Cleveland, but there's 2 outs for Detroit. Inside sinker, awfully close. That was about a baseball width and a half inside the plate, as the Tigers fans would have been up in arms. But that's a great call behind the dish. As now we go to a full count. Looking for a comeback pitch, really, but that did not happen. 3-2, great at bat. It was 0-2. End up drawing the walk as Roquillo, and that's going to leave it up now for Stephen Kwan. That is not what you want if you're Detroit, because Stephen Kwan can take any sort of count from 0-2 to 3-2 and get you a base hit, get on base. So again, I'll say this a lot on the YouTube side and the Twitter space at John Lynott. Thank you guys for joining in. We know as these games continue to go across, we move our way to the CS potentially for these teams, that we might start to get bigger crowds. I just hope that I can entertain you and call the play-by-play the best that I can. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, please let me know in that comment box. I'll be happy to shoot the breeze with you. So Stephen Kwan got a 1-0 count. Dive bomb on a 4-seam, and Olson's starting to lose the strike zone here after getting the first couple quick outs in the top 2. Again, as we mentioned with Stephen Kwan, he is not afraid to put the bat on baseball. He's got a ton of speed. He can play premium defense in left field. He does everything. That's what a star will do. 2-0. Curveball. That's a really good look for Kwan, and I think if he gets another one of those, he can measure it. He's got enough power at 14 home runs. I wouldn't be surprised if he takes it deep. Last 100 batted balls 200 feet or less. Now, StatTrack says otherwise, but I don't. Kwan, that was pulled, and that one is distance but foul. So there you go. Don't listen to everything that you see on the StatCast side. He crushed that one. He just hooked it foul. He will get a new at bat. Probably bottom part of that knob was cut in half. So we'll get that all squared away as they get another long look at Stephen Vogt. Offensive slide entering today. Before the All-Star break, 721 OPS. After 676, not too bad. And ALDS, 534. That's just because of the amount of different pitchers that you see. What's this what the Tigers do? I'd have to believe that. But that should percolate. 2-2. Kwan will swing in a ball. This one will be caught by Trace Sweeney. Still got a lot of that to almost get that to drop into shallow center field. But Reese Olson gets a couple strikeouts and doesn't give up anything in the top 2. It's still 1-0 Cleveland. So a couple of strikeouts. And no damage after the Roquillo walk. Let's give you an update in the YouTube box for those if you join in late, if you mixed in and around. That's your update for the first as we sit in the second. I know there's going to be some Cleveland fans in here. A friendly rivalry from Michigan and Ohio. They said even if the Tigers need a Game 5 on Saturday, are you picking Detroit to make the ALCS? And 2 out of 3 say no. I happen to think that Tarek Skubal, I don't know if he's going to throw up a 0 on Saturday should they need him. He might give up a couple, but I don't think Tarek Skubal is going to give up more than 2 on the Saturday side, no matter how long he goes. That game's going to be close. So if the Tigers don't get it done today, they will have the luxury for Saturday for Skubal. But if the Tigers do win today, they're down 1-0 right now going to the bottom of the second. They could start Tarek Skubal potentially against the Yankees or the Royals in Game 2-1. Again, both games would either start in the Bronx or at Kaufman, as the Royals have the tiebreaker. Let me text my fiance's dad really quick. I'm not going to miss the game. He asked me how did the Guardians score their first run. Stephen Kwan stole third. And Thomas with an RBI single.
Stay connected to all things postseason with T-Mobile, the best 5G coverage in the game. America's largest 5G network. What crowd? They had nearly 45,000 here last night, their largest crowd ever at Comerica Park. And it'll be about the same beautiful sunset when you hit the golden hour in Detroit, Michigan. Tanner Bobby back out for his second inning. Colt Keith leads off. And another missed fastball.
Colt Keith is going to lead off here for the Tigers in the bottom of the second.
Heaters in the box yet. He did get a couple of swinging strikes on high fastballs.
Okay.
In that first inning.
It is 1-0 here for Keith in the count. 1-0 Cleveland in this game as we get set to start the bottom of the second. So right now, as I'm looking on TNT, again, the game was on TBS the last few days. If we need Game 5, that will go back to TBS. 2-0 count here for Bybee. And he will take a slider, will Colt Keith make it 2-1 through his 20th pitch. For anyone that's just joining in, Stephen Kwan took the extra 90 feet to steal third. Lane Thomas, RBI single in the first. That is still where we are. 2-1 will have a meeting with the pitch comm alongside Bo Naylor, and they will request a new set of batteries, as they usually do. So Comerica Park, again, I don't know if you saw this published. It wasn't by Fangraphs, but it was one of those ones that mentioned off the big new scoreboard that they have that Detroit was the worst as far as playoff atmosphere. Well, I think it's unfair to say that about the Tigers because they hadn't had any postseason games to even watch the last 10 years. So that is a lot to go ahead and say, hey, that just doesn't make much sense. But that was what they listed, the Detroit a la versus everybody that they like to talk about. Again, I'm wearing my Granderson jersey, but that does not mean I can't call things fair, but I do think that is BS. 2-1, Bybee way high on a sinker against Keith. And as Brian Anderson talks about it, he calls games for the Milwaukee Brewers and does some NBA games nationally. Very good at what he does. He's continually, Bybee, missing high and outside. 3-1 for Colt Keith. If this goes in the zone, great eye. And every time I watch Colt Keith in the postseason, he just continues to use that eye and draw walks. He does not mess around. He will take his base, and he will not get big out of the zone. And that's what you love from a youngster there in Colt Keith. Now, Colt's had a lot of burn in this season for Detroit. They called him up pretty much exponentially at the start of the 2024 season, and he's continued to just impress the 22-year-old. 260 on the year, but now it's torque. 88, good slider on the low black. Make it 88. 067 this postseason for Spencer. He's hitting bingo numbers, so that means it can only improve at some point, you would hope. You got Colt at first from the walk. It's a second straight base runner for the Tigers to start an inning, and that one was split right across the middle of the plate. Torkelson will take it for a strike for whatever reason. That was off speed. That had it all over it. So 0-2. Zach McKinstry is in the 7-hole for the Tigers at third today. As Bybee. Oh, that pitch bounces, and because it bounced off Naylor and it hit him in the leg, as he's going to walk it off here in his ankle, actually. As it hit him in the ankle, that's going to hurt Naylor, but you know what the fortunate thing was? It bounced off his ankle. It stopped him from getting away, so Colt Keith couldn't take an extra 90 feet. So I think even though Naylor might have a little raccoon bruise on that ankle, I think Cleveland's going to take that because it didn't advance the runner. Torkelson, 0-2 against Bybee. That was an eventful last look at Naylor, 0-2 against Torque. 89. Wow, that seemed very close to take. Torkelson does take it for a ball. I do think that was accurately called, but I would not flinch either way if Torkelson was punched out there. Man, oh man, I don't even know how you take that if you're Torque, as it's 1-2. Cole Keith the first from the walk. Torque trying to improve on the bingo number average. This inside on a fastball. And again, high and in. It depends on your handedness, high and out, high and in. It's the same side that Bybee keeps missing, and I can't say it's intentional at this point. I just don't think he's really found his release point on that fastball. He hasn't really given up anything yet, just a double and a walk, as Torque will use his disengagement. So check back in with Naylor and BB here as we will look. Pitch number 26. Again, I said it wrong. I know I was going to do a couple times. Tanner Bybee. Pitch number 26. Tanner going to try to get Torkelson out right here. 2-2. This is a changeup, not close. It was 0-2. Now it's 3-2 with McKinstry on deck. Torkelson is known to get a little big in his swing. He's got 105 strikeouts. He did have a couple of walks in game one against Framber Valdez in the wild card against Houston. Full count pitch. Torque. He will serve a single that will split right field. Cole Keith is going to take his way to get the extra 90 feet. So Torkelson single puts Keith to third, and the Tigers are in business. Runners first and third. You would think even a double play right now scores the run and evens this up for the Tigers. Should have come to it. So McKinstry's job right now is to hit a deep fly ball somewhere and have the Tigers even up this game. They got runners at first and third with nobody out. Spencer Torkelson was up against it 0-2. He took a fastball right down the middle, and he was able to just get that between second base, a little bit over short. It'd be a shallow drop. So McKinstry way high on a changeup. BB as starting to miss again on a changeup now. It was all fastballs. McKinstry, 215, 4 home runs, 23 RBI, 614 OPS, 2 for 5 with a double in the ALDS. So his playoff numbers have shot up exponentially in limited at-bats. Good fastball and a good call behind the dish as well. Make it 1-1 on the outside black high. Tigers trying to come through with runners at first and third. They had Parker Meadows stranded at second in the first. Trying to make this a 1-1 game, maybe a little bit more, but Cleveland's got a 1-0 lead. McKinstry outside on a fastball, make it 2-1, and the crowd's starting to get louder here for the Tigers as they know what's at stake. We're very early into this contest, but runners in scoring position. Tigers have been pretty good throughout this postseason right now when they've needed to score runs. 2-1. High on a changeup. Make it 3-1. That was not close whatsoever. And we're still waiting now as Stephen Vogt is behind that look in the dugout. Bybee's missed high on a lot of this. Trey Sweeney would be next. 3-1 against McKinstry. What do you want to do here? Towels are waving. He's going to walk McKinstry. Not even close on the last three pitches. The Tigers have the bases loaded and nobody out. They've got to come out to the dugout now. I don't blame Cleveland there, just to calm Bybee down. And I don't know if Bo Naylor needs to take his sight lines. This would be my guess. He's got the target up. I would just accentuate that target down and maybe force Bybee to throw it in the strike zone. Who knows? You could hang a pitch. I'm not saying that wouldn't backfire on Cleveland, but I think you got to kind of adjust your target from what I'm seeing right now. I'm no pitching coach, but he keeps missing consistently in those same spots, and now it's starting to happen with the changeup. Trey Sweeney's already come through a couple times. especially in Game 1 in the wildcard series when the Tigers scored 3 in the second. It was 8-9-1 in the order from Sweeney Rogers. We'll see if he can do so again. If it wasn't for that trade for Jack Flaherty, when Tigers fans were a little bit kind of mixed in between, oh, if we had Jack Flaherty, we'd have this pitch and stuff, we wouldn't have Trey Sweeney right now. So I really think that is a bonkers point by all of you. I think Trey Sweeney is the guy that you want. He's going to be the Tigers' maybe future backstop in short. See if he can get it going now. Hopefully Trey doesn't get too big here. Pitch counter down to 1. This is 94. He swings on the first pitch. This should be deep enough to bring in the run. Lane Thomas, decent arm. I don't think that's going to matter as Tigers score it. Colt Keith, Trey Sweeney does his job, and it's a 1-1 game again. So Tigers sack fly courtesy of Trey Sweeney, and it's 1-1. Bybee, that was a first pitch swing in there for Trey. He got what he wanted. He wasn't able to lift it enough. That's called doing your job and not trying to do too much more than that. So double plays in order here now for Cleveland, and that could get them right out of this inning. Jake Rogers, hopefully see if he can come through in the postseason. His hits and his average is way up toward his regular season because he was a 197. He's hitting 333 right now. So pitch number 35 here for Bybee against Jake in the bottom of the order. This is lined right to second. This is going to be a double play. Tough luck there for Jake Rogers. He scorched that right to Rocchio, and they will get the double play they need. He hit it hard, but he hit it right at somebody. That happens sometimes. So Tigers even up this game at 1 as we go to the third. Jake Rogers, tough luck double play. Bybee's got to be thinking his lucky stars.
We're colon cancer's the priority.
Indeed. Everyone 45 plus at average risk should screen for colon cancer. These folks are getting it done at home with me. Shutout is a one-time way to screen for colon cancer that's effective and non-invasive. It's for people 45 plus at average risk, non-high risk. False positive negative results may occur. Ask your provider for colon guide.
I did it my way.
Are you kidding me? I lost my whole far leg with one lousy leg. Football guy. Why do you hate me?
Because we're Chiefs fans.
Professor Wallace, lose a leg and still get breed. We get you. So we got it there for the crowd scores.
Old Spice Gym, Super Hydration Body Wash, and LH. 24/7 moisturization vitamin D3.
Are you doing all the old fight?
So tough luck double play for Rogers right at Rocchio. He hit it very hard, but it is now 1-1. So let's go into the comment box on the YouTube side, and we will update everybody else. Thank you guys again. I'll be saying that a lot throughout this one, but for joining in through this cast and listening in. Again, you can follow on the MLB app with Dan Dickerson Detroit. You can also follow along with Cleveland, or if not, again, I can't show you this stuff on YouTube. I know people will ask me that sometimes, but we'll give you the play-by-play.
It just smells so burnt and unnatural. Like, I wonder what's even in this stuff. We tried wet food, which is basically a canned mystery.
Okay, so we're good here on this side. I got the text across for fiance's dad because I know he's a diehard Tigers fan as well. I was happy to spend some time with the missus earlier in the week so it could free me up to do this. Again, got to spend time with Lauren as much as I can, but you've got some playoff games to do as well. And I had a busy week alongside Alec Nava and Cooper Hopkins getting some of these NHL openers. So a lot of business to take care of. I got immunizations to get on Sunday for the trip next month. A lot going on. So we will take care of everything. I still got to work with the haircut, clean up, all that too. Rental car, hotel, get that all squared away. But we're looking forward to it. Get to see Cooper Hopkins in the flesh. And that has been a day that I've been looking forward to probably for the last couple of years. So we'll go to the third. Tigers do get one. He had bases loaded, double play, sack fly. Trey Sweeney ends up scoring the run. Jake Rogers couldn't really hit it any harder, and that was right to Rocchio. That's tough luck, but I'm not going to blame Jake for that as Reese Olson back out for his third inning of work. We'll see how long Reese Olson's going to go. And right now, this is a 1-1 game as we're through the top of the third. If Michael Swartout does join, I know he's probably listening along. So if he does join in, he'll definitely call this game with him. Trey Sweeney, this is going to be a tough play. That's a good work there. Good set of hands for Trey Sweeney. It was a slow roller at short. Manzardo's got decent speed, but Sweeney was able to get the throw across and be able to get the out. So 1 up, 1 down to start the Guardians' top of the third. Let's go back to their side of the order here in the notes. Jose Ramirez and Josh Naylor will at least get turns in the bat rack here, top 3. And for Jose Ramirez, again, I'm just going to say it, and I'm going to keep saying it, just like I did with the Astros. It's only a matter of time before Jose Ramirez starts to break through, but it's just always never getting a second, third look at some of these pitchers. Now he does get the customary option of a second look against Reese Olson. And this one, Torkelson. Toss over to Olson, brings the race to the bag, and Ramirez is out. So Josh Naylor now, last hope, couple quick ground outs for Reese. That is how he started the second as well, after giving up that opening run, as Stephen Kwan got the extra 90, stealing third, and Thomas scored in the first. That's their run. Trey Sweeney's got the sac fly for Detroit in the bottom of the second to answer right back. But Olson did have a couple of quick outs in the top of the second, a couple quick outs bottom third, and then it started to elevate. So we'll see if Josh Naylor can extend this at bat for Cleveland to continue to try to drive that pitch count up against Reese. So tomorrow, no matter what, will be an off day for me. I need some rest after 3 straight days of doing games, mixing between hockey and baseball. But Saturday, if the Tigers don't win, we'll be covering Game 5. If Tigers do win, I already have the Red Wings and the Predators all set to go as far as the notes. So no pre-planning for me. That's all done. I can just rest up tomorrow and rest the pipes as well. So 1-1 against Naylor. Olson just gets it off in time, right down the middle, and that goes through the second base side. And Josh Naylor will pull it through the hole, and I'll leave it up to Lane Thomas, who's already got an RBI single. So that was right through the second base side of Colt Keith. And I want to say this, as I mentioned before, if you've heard me do some of these Tigers casts, they said Colt Keith wasn't much of a defender, but we knew what he was going to bring with the bat. I think Colt Keith has made every play that he's supposed to be able to make. That was a very tough look there for Keith to try to get that diving play, but he made a hell of an effort there. And I think he looks pretty good on that side for defense. And considering how young Colt Keith still is, room for improvement, I think he might have a potential star on their hands in Detroit at the second base side. And that would make me happy because the last time we've seen somebody that good at second base, it was Ian Kinsler. Unless you want to go all the way back to Lou Whitaker and Alan Trammell in that double play combination. Don't quite have that in Sweeney and Colt Keith yet, but who knows? I think they could be pretty fun to watch over the years. 2-0 against Lane Thomas from Reese Olson. This is right down the middle of the plate, so Reese Olson, a couple of quick outs, and now a couple of quick singles for Cleveland. And you got to cut this off right here. Will Brennan now will get an opportunity in the 6th hole. So it was pretty quick for Manzardo and Ramirez. A couple of ground outs right the first. Chris Fetter is going to come out now, the Tigers pitching coach. Try to calm down Reese Olson. I think this is the good time to do so here because Tigers just score the run. You want to get an opportunity right now to make sure that he's feeling good. He gets an extra breath, calm things down, and who knows if he can keep it right where it is at 1-1. The Tigers get the next opportunity in the bottom half of the inning to score some runs. Sean Gunther now beginning to warm in the Tigers bullpen. So Gunther is one of those guys that they can use to get ground balls should they need it, the lefty on the Tigers pen. Jeff Francoeur alongside Brandon Anderson says Francoeur is saying this is going to shape up just like Game 2. So expect to see a lot of different pitchers. If you're not used to this type of baseball, well, get used to it when you're the Tigers. They'll use anyone and everybody on that roster, even all their pinch hitters as well. Dive bomb, and Jake blocks it in front of the protector to make sure the runners stay right where they are. Still 2 outs. That's the way it started after a couple of ground outs, but a couple singles here for Cleveland has them threatening to do some danger from Naylor and Thomas. Well, Brennan now trying to come through here for Cleveland. 83 on a slider, and he swung out in front of it. Make it 1-1. That was a really good swing there. It was a good pitch from Olsen, but a good swing there for Brennan. I think he just missed it. He was on time. Good cut for Brennan. 1-1. Pitch clock keeps going down to 1 as these guys deliver. 94 does not get the call on a low fastball. Make it 2-1. Andres Jimenez would be next. 2-1, 2 outs. Here for Cleveland with runners at first and second. They're trying to get the lead right back. Dive bomb on a 4-seam. Make it 3-1. Being particularly careful right now against Brennan unless they're really missing their spots as Reese Olson. It's remained to be seen right now. It's a beautiful fall night, essentially at Comerica Park at 66 degrees. We just hit the 7 o'clock marker. 3-1, roped foul down the first base line. That would have scored probably 2 the way that one was going. It's a full count pitch here for Reese. Is he going to draw a walk? Is he going to get a strikeout? The crowd's getting to their feet with 2 outs and a full count here. It's a lovely sight to see a full Comerica Park, well over 40,000. Waving the towels, urging Reese Olson to get this. Here's a swing and a miss of a curveball. And Reese Olson gets away from the damage. It's still 1-1 as we go. Bottom 3. Tigers due up next. They're going to try to take the lead here if they can. So Lane Thomas has had a really good game right now for Cleveland. He's already got a couple hits and an RBI. Brennan strikeout ends the danger. Alec Nava will have the later game at 8:15, so about another hour and 10 minutes from now will be the Yankees and KC in Kauffman. KC needs a couple of wins. They're down 2-1 in the season series in this ALDS. I think, and I can't say this for certain, but Alec Nava wouldn't matter anyway. I think he is being very nice to me to let me call these games while he takes the other because it is my team. However, I would be more than happy to call Tigers games with him. And you know what? If it gets to the World Series, we're going to be doing that anyway if it gets that far. But he bounces around, and I do too. But at this point, since it's been 10 years, I have to call Tigers games. We called the wild card. We did both of those. And I did miss the first couple of games. Really, the first 3 games in this series alongside Cleveland and Detroit. We try to get some hockey openers and mix around a little bit here and there. But from where we are, I can't miss any more. So we're going to have today and Saturday if needed. If not, we will go to the Red Wings. So let's get this on the recorder. So let's just show this on the Tigers watch party. I got to mention this at Little Caesars Arena. I do see some Penguins jerseys, and even some of them are giving some hand in hands with one of their friends. Big Tigers watch party alongside Little Caesars Arena, and we got some Red Wings jerseys inside Comerica Park as well. That is awesome to see. Parker Meadows will follow straight back in amongst the screen as we get set for the bottom of the third. It'll be the top of the order due up for AJ Hinch's squad. And AJ Hinch has been a managing masterclass, as he usually is, as Parker Meadows. This will be right this second. Jimenez, easy toss over to Naylor, 1 up, 1 down for the Tigers to start the bottom of the third. So Kerry Carpenter and Matt Vierling will be the last hope. It is just starting to turn dusk. So Lauren Jabara spent some time, if you know her locally, as the sideline reporter right now for Major League Baseball in this game for the ALDS for the Guardians and Tigers, but she spent some time at the local Channel 7, grew up in Michigan, and now she's doing reporting for this game between Cleveland and Detroit. That has got to be a hell of a thrill for Lauren, so I'm happy for her. I do miss her on the Channel 7 side, but she's getting a chance to work this game on national TV. Kerry Carpenter goes and reaches for a changeup. Make it 1-1. Again, his at-bats right now, and I don't want to be too disingenuous because that monster 3-run shot with 2 outs top 9 kind of changed it all. Other than the Maglier Ordonez home run to go to the World Series, that could be one of the biggest. But he's got to find a way to get his pitch here because he's got plenty of power. He can change things quickly. Now he goes for a changeup again, way out in front. Looks like Kerry Carpenter is only going for the downs on all of his swings early. That is what I'm watching right now. He's trying to get some bad intentions going on. 1-2 as Bybee wants to get a quick third. This is a cue shot, check swing. Again, fastball where it's missed high and outside all night, depending on your hand, and this high out, high in, as it is offered up by Kerry and cued foul with a bunt, essentially. 42 pitches now for Bybee. His ratio is correct here. He's just throwing a lot of pitches high and outside, and now offered as Kerry. A couple miserable at-bats for him, as he will strike out yet again, this time low on a curve. And that is rather easy as it leaves it up to Matt Vierling. This could be a quick bottom of the third. That's what they want to see on the Cleveland side of it, at least for Bybee, because for all the times, again, as we said, that he's missed high, he's really starting to work quick now. It's kind of interesting because if you juxtapose both Reese Olson and Bybee, you get quick outs. You might give up something, maybe not give up any damage, but it extends the inning. That's kind of where we are right now with Bybee and Olson, as their pitch counts are not all that dissimilar. 0-1. Pop out here for Vierling. This is a pitch right down the middle on a sinker, and Vierling had a good cut on it, but it'll serve it down the first baseline foul, make it 0-2. So Tigers are on their last strike of the third inning. It's a 1-1 game, as the Tigers are just evening up from a Trey Sweeney sac fly. Lane Thomas RBI single, couple of hits in this game. And that is dotted and not called. Beebe was halfway to the dugout. I don't blame him. That should have been strike 3. That is a perfect pitch on a curveball, and that needs to be called if you're a pitcher on the mound. You want those strikes. So Vierling, 1-2, new life. This one right to short. No problem. Rocchio toss over to Naylor. Tigers go very quietly. 1-2-3 ends the third. We're tied at 1. Let's go to 4.
Check out my home scrambling with the T over to get the new iPhone 16 Pro built after the challenge. Now at T-Mobile.com, get the new iPhone 16 Pro on us. Their family can save 20% every month. Liberty Mutual customized my car insurance. I saved hundreds. With the money I saved, I get a wax finger myself. Cool, right? Look at the craftsmanship. I mean, even on my nostrils, like, just nice to know. Years after I'm gone, this guy will be standing there testing. It's no good. Oh, jeez. No.
So I'll give you an update here on the comment box. Despite a couple hits from Cleveland, a quiet third, still 1-1. We'll update that throughout the day. Again, I will give you full game coverage on Hopeless Sports Guy, per usual, alongside with the game call that has none of the fluff of everything else.
If you're looking for the one, find the home with a short commute to work. Find the one in a good school district. And find it exclusively professionally sourced listings. Download the Realtor.com app today.
7-8-9 is going to be due up for Cleveland. We get set to start the top four. Andres Jimenez, Bo Naylor, and Brian Roquillo. 7-8-9.
Meet Earl. Earl, like all cats, craves food that's meaty and juicy. But in a dog-eats first world, he's never had food made with his needs in mind. Luckily, his human found Smalls. Smalls makes gently cooked, fresh food that's junk-free. Just meaty, juicy, natural ingredients. Ready to make 9 lives 10? Visit smalls.com/TV to receive first box.
Don't forget on DraftKings Sportsbook, this postseason, new customers can bet $5 and pocket $200 in bonus bets instantly. Download the app and use the promo code HEAT when you sign up. DraftKings Sportsbook, the crown is yours.
We have arrived at Game 4, elimination game, as the Tigers are 2-1 in the series. A bunt pop-up and a routine play.
So we'll start the top four with a bunt pop-up, and Spencer Torkelson able to make the catch just shy of the railing on the first base side against Andres Jimenez. And that'll be 1 up, 1 down for Cleveland to start top four as this game continues to cruise along. Reese Olson pitched number 65 as he's through 3 1/3 innings, giving up just 1 RBI to Lane Thomas. Tigers scored on a sac fly from Trey Sweeney, and that is still where we are as we go top four. So Bo Naylor is due up next. Again, 201, 13 bombs, 39 RBI, 39 runs scored, 29 walks, 122 strikeouts. So that is where he's definitely prone to be able to get if you're Reese, as it's 1-0. Sun and everything else starting to set at Comerica Park about 7:15 Eastern. Again, at least for Cleveland, I could say this even for Detroit, but at least for Cleveland, you don't have to deal with the shadows now. As we got a little bit of a later start at 6:10, that's got to be a pain in the butt, especially when you have other pitchers like Tarek Skubal and figuring that out. Even at Progressive, they had to deal with a lot of that. Naylor, this is a good swing on a 4-seam. Make it 1-2. He went down to go get that one with some intent to do damage, but Olsen now is ahead in the count. When they keep showing those shrubs in behind Reese Olson of the camera shots in the mound, it just can't help make me think about JD Martinez. As this one spiked in the dirt, but there is nobody on base. Make it 2-2. When JD Martinez was still in a Tigers uniform, his first time back, he played against Chris Sale on the Chicago White Sox and hit one dead set into the shrubs. Again, I was at Comerica Park this year for the Jim Leland retirement ceremony, and Bly Madris hit one in the same spot when he was still with the Tigers, and that's about 415 feet. Couple of ground outs here. Reese Olson, pop out from Torkelson, and now a ground out for Naylor. And Roquillo will be the last hope in a quick top four. Again, Reese Olson has done this. Second, third, and fourth inning gets the first 2 outs, and then Cleveland starts to get something going, and then it peters short. That's the way that it's been over the last 6, now to 8 outs. We'll see if that trend can be bucked, if Cleveland finds something to happen here, or if they're just going to get another quick out, because Reese Olson can use it. Tyler Holden now starting to get warm in the bullpen here for the Greedy Tigers. Again, I'm going to have to probably use that phrase if they get to a win today, and I'll probably be a little more excited. Again, I can keep everything measured right now because the score is still close, and it is where it is. High on a fastball. Make it 1-1. So they're showing Spencer Torkelson down in the minor leagues trying to get his swing right. Cole Keith has spent some time. Parker Meadows has spent some time. All good camera shots from the TNT TBS crew. Turner Broadcast is one of the best. As 94, this will be followed straight back and amongst the screen. Make it 1-2. Reese Olson trying to make quick work of the Guardians right now in the top of the fourth because the Tigers will turn away just as quickly in that bottom third. If Rocchio gets on, it'll be Stephen Kwan as we'll go back to the top of the order for a third time. 93, Rocchio ropes this one, but it'll be right to the right fielder. And Matt Beerley makes the catch, and it'll be a silent top four. It's still 1-1. Go bottom four. Tigers up next. I'll be right back.
Hey, it's me, your dry skin. I'm craving something we're missing. The ceramides in CeraVe. CeraVe, developed with dermatologists, contains 3 essential ceramides to replenish ones I've lost and help restore my natural barrier. So I can lock in moisture and we can feel it long after. We're in this together. With CeraVe, we have what we need to stay protected. CeraVe, the #1 dermatologist recommended skincare brand.
You never want to lose your edge. And the Lexus RX completely understands that.
And this is Oscar. After feeding him dusty kibble for a while, I was like, this is not real food. It just smelled so burnt and unnatural. Like, I wondered, what's even in this stuff? We tried wet food, which is basically canned mystery meat. Then I found Smalls. They make high quality, fresh cat food with human grade ingredients, right to your door. But most importantly, Oscar loves it. He's at a healthier weight, he's much more playful, his coat is softer than ever, and even his breath is better. And of course, he loves the box too.
Sometimes investing can feel so all over the place. That's why Pump.com created one place for it all. One place where you can invest in almost everything, like stocks, options, bonds, and crypto. You could even lock in the 6% or higher.
So good. Come back in here. We're still in the middle of the commercial break. Thank you guys for sticking around on the Twitter space and the YouTube side. It's been jumping a little bit, especially here early, as fans continue to settle in as we get set for bottom four. So Bivey's back on the mound. Riley Green, 4, 5, and 6 will be due up for the Tigers here as we get set to start the bottom of the fourth. It is still a 1-1 game. I think Reese Olson's day is going to be done. I'll give you his pitching line as we get into the fifth. This is a curveball that'll miss way outside the zone at 1-1. Can I say that Bivey's been effectively wild? I mean, when he's missed, maybe intentionally high, who knows, fastball and changeup. But he's been good. He's kept his team in the game. Riley Green, 88 on a slider. That is a perfect location on the bottom right corner of the box. Make it 1-2 for Riley. He was the Tigers' home run leader with 24. This is a team that does not take a deep very often. So it's good to have his power in there, but they need to get his back going in the postseason. And that'll work with a solid single right past Jimenez. And the Tigers, again, have runners on the base paths. They have had that a lot in this game. Now it's about trying to get the brass tacks with the extra feet and get all the way back home. And the Tigers can take this lead. That's their next goal. Colt Keith now in the middle of this order. Again, we said 260, 13 bombs, 61 RBI, 54 runs, 36 walks, 110 strikeouts. But in the at-bats that I've seen from Keith, I've seen him take 5 walks already in the postseason. We've only covered 3 games. This is the 3rd game we've covered with this team. way high on a four seam. Not close whatsoever. Colt Keith is only hitting 111 in the postseason, but he's already got a walk and a run scored. And again, he's finding a way to get on base despite that batting average. That's what you want. 1-0. Riley Green up first with the single. Bybee, 94 dotted on a sinker on the right side of the box. Cade Smith now starting to get warm. So Stephen Vogt is using his best bullpen arms. Again, it didn't have that luxury to do so in Game 3 because of the score line of the 3-0. He saved them all for this in a potential elimination game. 95. Keith offers it a sinker. He reached out for it right there, but it was a little bit too far to get. Wasn't that far out of the strike zone, but still Cole Keith couldn't locate it as they continue to watch Cade Smith get warm. 1-2 here against Keith from Bybee. 95, and this is a good swing for Keith because it was too close to take anyway. Just trying to keep himself alive and make Bybee throw a little bit more holster in that gun. That's what he's going to try to do here. Spencer Torkelson, who's got a single right now, would be next. Cole Keith still waiting on the 1-2 as they get set to do it again. Inside on a changeup that was toward the back foot, not close. Make it 2-2. Cole Keith does not seem to be bothered from what I've seen from him in the postseason. He just continues to find something in his zone and get what he likes. Green, tenuous lead at first after the single to start at the bottom of this fourth. 96 dotted, see you later. Four-seam fastball on the bottom right side of the box. Perfect pitch for Bybee. And Cole Keith definitely was looking for something else. We'll have a chance to think about it. That's a paint right there for Bybee. That's one of his best pitches. He comes right out in the leverage, and he goes right at Keith, and he does not care. I like that there. That's a lot of confidence on the bottom right side of the box at 96. Make no mistake about it. Spencer Torkelson now, as Bybee has his third strikeout recorded today. 95 inside of the hands of a sinker. Make it 0-1. Spencer Torkelson in this game, 1 for 1 with a single. He took his 0.84 average moved to 182, so one hit's going to change it a lot. That makes it look a little bit better. One more hit would even be more tremendous. Torque, 84 and a changeup. Good eye for Spencer, as that was a width and a half low and outside. Still 1-1. That's the score of the game as we sit bottom 4. John Hunter with you on the call at Comerica Park. This is Game 4 in the best of 5 in the ALDS. Tigers win. They go to the CS. Torque. This is going to be a double play ball. Flip over Ramirez. No problem. Rocchio and Tanner Bybee does the job. Spencer Torkelson hits into a double play. That ends the fourth. 1-1 still our score. So let's get on the final line for Reese Olson because we believe his day is done. Pretty effective one. So 4 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts.
Look, all you really need to know is that Progressive can save you money without sacrificing quality coverage. You follow?
I'll just look it up.
That went well.
Thanks to a bed and breakfast on Booking.com, even Cardinals fans are loving Chicago.
No, spoken out of conversation.
So many choices. You can be a fan of any U.S. city. Booking.com, Booking.yeah.
Whatever you're into, Mercedes-Benz has an SUV for you. City shopping. Weekend getaway. outdoor adventure.
Still got about another 45 minutes before the Guardians, or before the Royals and the Yankees will get set to do battle at Kauffman. Pinstripers got a 2-1 lead over KC. I think right now it shows Tyler Holton as the new pitcher for Detroit.
Save even more at our parking lot sale this weekend.
The 2024 postseason on TBS is brought to you by Progressive Insurance.
And the Red Wings game probably about 8:15 Eastern as well. Again, that was delayed because the Tigers are playing on the same day. I think that's a very good job there for the Red Wings as they have the watch party at LCA. They know what's going on, and hopefully if the Tigers want to get a chance to watch that and be happy later and get 2 wins for the price of 1. So Reese Olson, 7-2 in the regular season, 66 games, 219, 77 walks, 17 strikeouts. He misses the first 2 pitches against Stephen Kwan, make it 2-0. But Tyler Holton, I know he got roughed up in that game 1, but he has been one of the Tigers' best pitchers all year, and he's always brought on in all situations to get leverage outs. Stephen Kwan, fly ball Riley Green, no problem. He gets underneath it and makes the catch. So the Tigers' bullpen madness starts now. Reese Olson did his job. Again, 4 innings pitched, 5 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. As it's a 1-1 game. Guardians now batting on the top of the 5th with 1 out. As we'll get set to go with Kyle Manzardo and Jose Ramirez. Manzardo the DH today, Ramirez at third as he usually is. Manzardo, that is one hell of a sweeper there for Holton. As that goes from left to right, and against that lefty, that is nasty vertical downward movement. 0-1. I don't even know how you hit that. As Holton now delivers on the 0-1, he tries to go for the same. This is a lazy ground ball right to Torkelson, and a first good dream start here for Holton as he gets 2 up and 2 down through 5 pitches. And the way that this game is going right now, this can set it up with Bull Vest, Bo Brisky, some of your other arms that you want to throw out there now, where AJ kind of deals all the cards. He tells these guys what to do, and they're happy to do it. I mean, that's the way. Everybody knows their role. For the Tigers, this has worked about a month and a half, and who says it can't work anymore? They are kind of just taking the odds and throwing a brick to it, but the Tigers are just continually trying to get the job done. And what I see on my screen makes me scared, so I'm going to change that because I think it's ahead. Jose Ramirez says goodbye. Left field, Tyler Holton serves it up, and J-Ram gives Cleveland the lead. That's a little bit ahead of my call, so I got to stay away from that ESPN box. No doubt for Jose Ramirez, that has got to feel good for J-Ram, because I'm going to tell you, to be honest with you, the numbers will say one thing. I think his plate appearances don't say the other. I think he's still been on it right now. He's just waiting for something. He's waiting for a look. He got a sweeper, a slide that didn't slide, and Tyler Holton has given it up. And now the Tigers trail once more, 2-1. Jose Ramirez is the guy, 418 feet, and you can see from Jose Ramirez's body language, I wouldn't say excited and I wouldn't say relieved. He's just determined. He already knows what he can do. So Tyler Holton, as this is hit very hard, foul down the right field line. You got to start being careful here if you're Tyler. That caught a lot of the plate. It was a sweeper that went right into the happy zone for Jose Ramirez. And he was first pitch to it, and that was a no-doubt shot for Ramirez. He is a superstar, no doubt about it. Anyone else tells you otherwise, they are lying. So 39 home runs in the regular season, and that was absolutely killed into the night sky at Comerica Park down the left field line. 91 for Naylor. He went up to go try to find that one. He did not, as it's now 1-2. So Cleveland's got the lead. The Tigers are still right where they need to be. Tyler Holton has given up some runs, but I'm not going to blame him. Regardless of what happens if the season ends on Saturday for Detroit or whatnot, Tyler Holton's been so good in the regular season. He's been used in every single situation. He's always asked to get the toughest outs. I'm not going to put any sort of blame on Tyler no matter what happens or any point in the rest of this year because he's been that good. So Naylor will take a ball, make it 2-2 as that one swan dived into the zone. Lane Thomas, who had the RBI single to open the scoring in the first, would be next. Jose Ramirez is just giving Cleveland the lead. This is a lazy, soft fly ball in the first, and this will go foul. 2-2 as they keep doing a camera shot on Jose Ramirez, and for good reason. They just get him to percolate. That's all they're going to need, even for Game 5 against Tarek Skubal. Will be enough for Cleveland to advance to the ALCS, where they think they should be, and honestly probably should. This bounces off of Jake, and that got a big piece of the chest protector. He's going to need a minute. That one's going to hurt. So Jake Rogers will give him a minute as we'll step out. So they hit Jake Rogers right in the heel of the glove. If you're not a catcher, you're not taking damage. You're not doing the job right. And you just asked Alex Avila when he was here. Brendan Hannafy now is starting to get warm for Detroit. This is another one. Sweeper down below the zone. You got the 3-batter minimum here. This would be the third. Hannafy now starting to get warm, as we mentioned. Holton, his day could be done. He's just trying to get through Jose Ramirez, but Jose Ramirez said he had other ideas. It's 2-1 Cleveland after a long foam run to left field. Full count. Broken bat. This is not going to go farther than the ball, but Cole Keith Torkelson, yeah, the damage was done. Jose Ramirez, he claps. Everybody's happy. Gives his team the lead. It's a potential elimination game for Cleveland. They need this badly. He's a star. That's what stars do. They show up. Cleveland's got a 2-1 lead as we go. Bottom 5.
Save on fashion, home, beauty, and more. Shop Amazon Fall Favorites now.
My name's Jordan Guerrero, and this is my business, Hacienda. I chose my Smart Cash Plus card because I earn unlimited 2% cash back on everything. And with no preset spending limit, my purchasing power passes my business needs. What's in your wallet?
I find another one. It was on the first sight. Hey, those available. Just say it.
So we'll get set to go bottom 5. Cleveland's just taking the lead. 2-1 on Detroit. Jose Ramirez with a tape measure shot. Let's get into the distance if we can. 418 feet to left. That would have been gone pretty much in every ballpark. Again, if the Tigers had moved some of their fences back to center, that'd be a long fly ball out. But 418 feet killed on a sweeper. That's the right call. And Ramirez does the job. That's going to be the biggest hit in this ball game upcoming.
I stay with Cricket because they tell me like it is. The price on my plan is the price I pay every month. That's it.
Get what you expect, pay what you expect. Kyle, you're on credit. It's a hard conversation to have. When you die, this is what's going to happen.
All right, like this.
My perception of estate planning was lawyers and questions that I wouldn't know answers to.
Having trust and will, make sure that those things and those people are taken care of. Trust and will makes it really easy and succinct for people to go out there and create their estate plan.
Having a plan in place, it was a huge relief. Are you going to stay on that trustandroll.com?
Meal kits are the worst. No, really, I've tried them all and they are all the same. But something better has entered the
So I just got to say this. Again, as a Tigers fan, I'm not worried. Regardless of what happens for the Tigers, even if they lose on Saturday with Tarek Skubal on the mound, there's not going to be any hate. There's not going to be any sadness. because this team's not even supposed to be here right now. And it's been a lot of fun to watch. And in many ways, in between 2006 and that run, especially 2012, with all the stars, alongside Verlander, Scherzer, Porcello, Sanchez, Fister. In many ways, when that team went to the World Series, this run and everything else has honestly been much more compelling to watch because it's just a bunch of kids living out their dream right now, trying to make things happen. And I hope that it continues, and we'll see how long it will. But for however long it is, I'm just going to enjoy it. So 0-1 against McKinstry as we're getting settled here for the bottom of the fifth. If you're just joining us, Jose Ramirez with the latest. He has a solo shot off Tyler Holton. It's giving Cleveland the lead. It's a 2-1 game. Cleveland needs this one to extend the series to Progressive Field on Saturday because Tarek Skubal, even if the Tigers lose today, is looming, and he's ready to go on Saturday. So that probably going to means we're going to get a low-scoring game on Saturday no matter what. I can't see Tarek Skubal giving up more than 2 or 3 runs. So this is one Cleveland's got to get right now because they know what's waiting for them on Saturday at Progressive Field. So this is a huge one for Cleveland. If the Tigers can keep it close, they got a chance to end this right at Comerica Park tonight. This is way up high for Bybee. He's still out there. His pitch count's in excellent shape at 63, but when he's missed effectively high. Change-up fastball, as we've called all day. 3-1. So McKinstry drawed the walk last time. He doesn't have a high average, so you got to go right after him. And now McKinstry, fly ball, left field. This one's got a chance. It's at the wall. It's gone. Zach McKinstry. We are tied. Zach McKinstry answers Jose Ramirez, and it's a 2-2 game. Of all the people you would expect to do the damage for Detroit, the line just keeps on moving, and now I think they might decide to pull Bybee, and I can't say that 2020 hindsight is one thing and one thing only, but he was effectively wild through 4, correct? Maybe they kept him in from one batter too long. McKinstry ties the game again, and we'll get a pitching change when we come back.
So many choices on booking.com. Like this waterfront hotel, even Yankees fans are loving Boston. While enjoying your hotel's view of the harbor. And their well-reviewed clam chowder.
That's all they have.
Yeah.
Zach McKinstry just goes yard for the Tigers. And now we're tied at 2 again. It answers Jose Ramirez. I can't quite believe it myself, but maybe one batter too long for Bybee. That's the only thing I could think of. So Bybee's line is done. 4 innings pitched, 2 runs, 2 earned.
I have a question about stuff.
So 2 earned runs, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts.
We all know that we'll eventually need a will. Eventually. How about right now? Trust and will has taken the process of creating your will and made it easy. Like while you're lounging on the couch. Trust and will is designed by attorneys, but customized by you. One question at a time. All documents are state specific, legally valid, and start at just $199. That's not a techno. Find a plan.
Here's your update.
trustandwill.com.
We're still
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Office of the Commissioner of Baseball and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent.
First career postseason home run for Zach McKinstry. An opposite field smash ties the game. 2 apiece.
giving you the updates here. So Brian Anderson said the same thing, and I agree. I think Tanner Bybee may be trying to squeeze a little bit. Stephen Vogt there just a tad, and McKinstry is the one that takes him deep because I think he was effectively wild, and then he got bit by McKinstry. So now we get Cade Smith coming in here right now for Cleveland. He is one of the best arms out of their bullpen. Again, you know about Emmanuel Clase, but as I settle this in my notes, alongside Cade Smith, Hunter Gaddis, and Emmanuel Clase, those are kind of like the 7, 8, 9 guys. And this is where the run production probably will start to get silent through this next portion of the middle innings. Who knows? But that's kind of what we have to say. 6-1 in 74 games, 191 ERA, 103 walks, 17 or 103 strikeouts, 17 walks. That's incredible numbers. So Trey Sweeney scored a sac fly RBI, and he's going to go fishing right now. So 8-9-1 still left here for the Tigers, but the Cleveland's going to use their best arms here and try to make sure they keep the run scoring at a minimum, at worst. So Sweeney, Rogers, Parker, Meadows will get a chance because Zach McKinstry hit a home run off of Tanner Bybee to start the bottom of this fifth. It is tied the game at 2 apiece. Now Cade Smith comes in. He's going to try to make sure to shut everything else down. You think he will? The scoreline's probably going to stay right where it is for the Tigers for the foreseeable. Who knows what's going to go on with the rest of the Tigers as far as their bullpen? They still got Herter, Hannafy, mixing with Foley, Vest, Bobrisky, all sorts that they'll throw in there. But right now, as we're looking for Cleveland just to get the mental reset again, we go in through their bullpen to the notes. Cade Smith, Hunter Gaddis, Emmanuel Clase, come on down. That's probably what we're going to see now that Bybee's day is done. So Jake Rogers waiting on the 2-1. McKinstry just went yard, tied the game at 2 after Jose Ramirez in the top half of this inning gave the Guardians the lead. Now Jake Rogers is a deep fly ball to center, but this is shy of the warning track, and Lane Thomas underneath it and makes the catch. So we'll get settled back at the top of the order here for Parker Meadows. And as we said, maybe at the bottom of the fifth and a 2-2 game's not deep enough. But when Parker Meadows does get an opportunity one more time to go across his batting order, that is when he usually percolates, when he gets some key hits, gets on base, and creates chaos. He already extended his postseason hit streak to tie the great Al Kaline, Mr. Tiger, with his opening double, a duck snort in the first. So 1-0 against Parker Meadows is a changeup. This is very low. This is 96 and a fastball. Good swing for Parker Meadows, but it'll fall straight back in amongst the screen. Make it 1-1. So Lane Thomas, RBI single. Jose Ramirez with a 1-run shot. It was answered by Trey Sweeney with a sac fly and Zach McKinstry with a home run. And Parker Meadows pulls this foul down the third base line across left field. I could have split the gap if that would have stayed fair, and that's some good distance to it for Parker Meadows. He is known for his premium defense and incredible speed. He can make every catch. 96, right down the middle of the plate, will go straight back. And now I saw a post on X that some of the Tigers fans, again, I'm wearing a Granderson jersey, but it said, balls that Austin Jackson and Curtis Granderson used to die for, he just strides over and catches. That is quite a proponent to talk about for Parker Meadows. It tells you how fast he is. You would think if 1 to 100 and 100 being the fastest, Parker Meadows is probably in the 95th percentile. That's how much speed he has. And the routes he takes are great too, so that's what helps you make some of those great catches. Also helps to be 6'3". Parker Meadows, 90 miles an hour on a splitter, will miss low, and the count swells to full with 2 outs. Kerry Carpenter has not had a good night with a couple of strikeouts. He would be next if Parker reaches. This is at 96, and this splits the middle. But Lane Thomas again in a deep fly ball to center will make the catch. Zach McKinstry did his job. The Tigers have evened this one up at a pair. He hits a solo shot. It answers Jose Ramirez. We'll go to the 6th, tied at 2.
We saw people suffering. Anxiety ran high. Hatred rose. I'll prepare a feast and bring them together, he thought. He refused to join me. He was heartbroken because he wanted everyone to be free. Not with food and money, but with compassion.
So Cade Smith comes in for Cleveland, gets the clean inning, and we'll go to the sixth. It's been a good baseball game so far. Good defense. Teams that have scored some clutch runs when they needed to. That extra 90 feet, I got to say this right now, and that's in the first inning. That extra 90 feet that Stephen Kwan was able to claim from third on that base hit from Thomas, that might be the difference in this game. Otherwise, the Tigers probably up 2-1.
Walmart Plus. It's Walmart Plus Burger King. Mm-hmm. You get 25%.
We got about another 25 minutes, and then we will get the other game in the ALCS underway. Alec Nava is going to cover that for us. If you follow it across at @InserAlec, my good friend Alec Nava will have the 2-1 series lead right now for the Yankees. Again, I'm also pulling for Ian Genji and Nick Edwards here as far as KC fans to be able to make sure that they close it out, because you know what, Tigers and or even if it's the Guardians, but Guardians and Royals, Tigers, Royals for ALCS, that's a pretty good shutout from the AL Central. I feel pretty good about that because they spent a lot of their dog days getting dogged on. And this year, you can't say that, except for the White Sox.
The first ever 409 horsepower Genesis GV80 coupe.
The White Sox got a whole other host of problems, so that's why Jason Benetti is here in the broadcast booth.
Every delivery is a treat. What snack you bring, sir? Well, strawberry please. Oh. Enjoy it. Oh. By the way, something minty? Of course, it's large.
So behind the plate today for the Guardians and Tigers is Todd Tichenor. I think he's done a good job calling balls and strikes. Garrett Cole and Michael Waka will be your starters in the late game in the ALCS. That'll be on TBS. That's why TNT is carrying our game today. So the pitching madness hasn't really started as madness yet because Olsen had the first four. Tyler Holton had the fifth. He surrendered a solo shot to Jose Ramirez. Now he's back up for the sixth. But as he comes back out, it's back to a tie game and not a deficit. Zach McKinstry hit a solo home run to answer Jose Ramirez, and we're tied at 2 as we're getting late into this game. Lane Thomas has been excellent, 2 for 2 with 2 singles and an RBI. He's hitting .388 in the postseason right now. Again, that's only 4 games essentially played for the Guardians in comparison to 6 now for the Tigers, because they went 2 on the wild card against the Houston Astros, who did not make the ALCS. I think they had 6 years in a row where they did so. That is not dotted for Tyler Holton. I did miss the low. That was a good call by Tichenor there. Make it 2-2. So again, all you want to say and all you want to see is a fair call as far as what's going to be balls and strikes. Establish your zone and stick with it. I think he's done a great job on that side. This is skied toward Beer Lane. He will find it and make the catch. And the Guardians are turned away with the first down at the top of the 6th. Tyler Holton, 1 pitch is into his day. Stephen Vogt and A.J. Hinch, a couple of bright young managers with Stephen Vogt and A.J. Hinch. He has been doing this for a while. Sometimes it feels like playing checkers and chess, and right now chess for A.J. Hinch because he knows what to do. And what other manager right now, because Brad Ausmus was here before, again, I shouldn't throw that much shade to him, but I guess I have to. When you have that roster that you do before Ron Gardner took over, if you gave A.J. Hinch that, they probably win the World Series. That's how good he is. And amidst the scandals and everything else that did happen with the Houston Astros, the only one to go out and make the call, and I will say this for Alavila, he did make the call, was the Tigers to A.J. And now look where they are. This is right back to Tyler Holton in his glove. Look what I found. 2 up, 2 down. That was no problem for Tyler Holton. Sometimes if it's in any other ordinary human being, they might flinch. but this goes right into his glove. Nonchalant, no problem. Right back into the glove there for Tyler. As well, Brennan, pretty much, that is a pitching machine. Couldn't do that any better. And that goes right in the webbing. Big cut, a swing and a miss for Andres Jimenez. And Tyler Holton trying to make this a 1-2-3 top six for Detroit. They are one win away from going to the American League Championship Series. Cleveland needs to win this game. Then they can try to go on Saturday on home field at Progressive, but they'd have to do so against Tarek Skubal. That's why I still don't have that pit in the feeling in my stomach, no matter what happens today, because I know the ace is going Saturday, and the damage should be limited. 0-2. Tyler Holton trying to get this clean. This is dive bombed into the dirt. Jake Rogers didn't need to block it. Big Christmas, John Kinsey Noel. I love that nickname. Is waiting on the bench right now. That is a big man with some big time power and a very young outfielder as well. He's got a bright future in this league. Swing and a miss. Tyler Holton does his job, and the Tigers will go bottom six. It's tied at 2. I'll be right back.
Vogt knows it's easier to make the right calls when you have the right team. McCaffrey looking lost. I'm looking for a long one. Could you pull your aisle 27? Find what you need faster with the Lowe's app. What's up at DQ? 2 sauce and toss chicken strip baskets. All white meat chicken in your choice of wing famous flavors like honey barbecue or Parmesan garlic. Hurry in. We enjoy flavors at DQ. DQ.
Big time noon when the winner's clear. 7 out of 10 cats prefer blue tasteless chicken to honey chicken. And with tasteless, delicious natural ingredients, it's easy to see why. Blue tasteless, a taste cats love new natural ingredients.
Sunny days call for Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. Made with real iced tea, real vodka. Refreshing and goes down smooth. Let the good times cruise with Sun Cruiser.
I care about what's in our food. I spent way too much time researching what I was buying. It was exhausting, but I don't have to do that anymore. Not with Hive. I don't have to worry about chemicals or hidden toxins in our food. All of our groceries are Hive 5 certified, so I know I'm giving my family the cleanest, healthiest, best tasting food available. Hive. Buy what you believe in. Go to hivebrands.com to join for free and save up to 20% on every order.
All right, gentlemen, let's go to the bottom of the 6th. That's what we're waiting on right now. And we are going to continue to look forward to this game. This has been a lot of fun, as it is 2-2. We head to the bottom of the 6th. Seems like every game I do so far has been an instant classic. Kerry Carpenter, 2-3-4, due up now for the Tigers in the bottom of the 6th. It's starting to get late. We know the Guardians are using their best arms at this point, considering the score line. And can the Tigers come up clutch again? That is what we're wondering. Or is Cleveland going to get this to Game 5 with Tarek Skubal on the mound? There are storylines abound. Kerry Carpenter, a couple strikeouts, and now it's 0-2. He has been trying to get nasty on every single one of his swings in this game. Getting a little too big for my liking. Kerry Carpenter, 96, although you can talk about the Game 2 home run with the 2 outs in the ninth. And again, that's going to be remembered in Tigers lore forever, as it's a 2-2 game. Kerry Carpenter, this is going to be splitting the middle of the infield. Stephen Kwan plays it on a hop, and Kerry gets a base hit. So Kerry Carpenter gets his first 90 feet of the ball game, and the Tigers have runners on the base paths again. This has been soft serve all over the place at times until McKinstry got that solo shot in the left field to answer Jose Ramirez. As it sits right now, 2 runs, 6 hits, no errors. 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors. Detroit has the 5. Matt Vierling trying to get the 6th. 96 is a dot on the low outside corner. Make it 0-1. So Kerry Carpenter has got the latest base hit. Tigers are in the midst of a 2-2 ball game, a win away going to the ALCS. They don't care if they get the Yankees or the Royals. They just want to continue to move on any farther. And for fans, again, we talked about it about a month and a half ago. This team was dead to rights. Nobody expected them to play postseason baseball. But this is one of the reasons why you watch sports. 0-2 off-speed pitches. Vierling is out front. Now Cade trying to make quick work of Matt Vierling. I love that demeanor there for Cade as he gets the sign from Bo Naylor. And swinging a miss on a sweeper. Vierling chased 3 pitches outside the zone, and Cade admits me to him. Riley Green and Colt Keith are 4 and 5. Unless there is any sort of double play, Colt Keith will get an opportunity. You know what? If I'm going to call my shot, I think Colt Keith is probably due. I know Riley Green's the easy one to say, but Colt Keith might be the guy to do it. This one is put into the dirt. 1-0 against Riley, as Hunter Gaddis now starts to get warm. That means Emmanuel Clase will be looming very shortly as we get a little bit later in this game. We're bottom 6. Kerry Carpenter first, 1 out for the Tigers. 96, that was a perfect pitch. Does not get the call. Riley Green will take it. 2-0. Again, Riley Green, as we said in the regular season, 2.62 average, 74 RBI, 64 walks, 156 strikeouts. He's prone for that. 2-0 count leverage, not close. It's 3-0 against Riley Green. Want to see what Riley does here. Now, what they could do for Hunter Gaddis, again, it is righty-righty. You could try to maybe see that someone has a matchup advantage over the other. I'm not so sure you want to mess around here with Colt Keith. They're going to walk Riley Green. So get an extra 90 feet with runners at first and second. Smith made no intention to pitch to Riley Green there. So we'll now be Colt Keith's opportunity with runners at first and second. But I'm just not sure. We're getting the first look here as Cleveland might be taking their look to the bullpen. They'll make their change. Stephen Vogt's not going to mess around. So Cade Smith's day is done. They're going to go to Hunter Gaddis. And we'll clarify things when we come back. So let's pull up this box for the Guardians. Again, this 6th is not done.
At Verizon, new and existing customers can get iPhone 16 Pro on us when you trade in any phone in any condition. Only on Verizon.
So Carp single and a green walk. Let me go back into the box here. Cade Smith's line is not final unless Hunter Gaddis makes it so. 1 1/3. Make sure I don't type all over myself because I got my phone kind of in the way here. Cade Smith, 1 1/3 innings pitched. 1 hit. 1 walk. 2 strikeouts. Responsible for runners. So that's why his line's not final. And that will bring up Hunter Gaddis. Keith at the dish. And I said, I don't make calls very often here, but I think Cole Keith is due. I think he might come through here. Doesn't mean it has to be a home run. We'll see. Because if he hits into a double play, then Cleveland gets right out of this anyway, but it'll still be 2-2 heading into the 7th. So Hunter Gaddis comes in, 6-3 in the regular season, 78 games with 157 ERA. And it's Cole Keith. So he's still got the hand disadvantage here. In the previous, before we went to the break, that was my call. Doesn't mean a home run or anything for Keith, but I think he's probably due. If Keith does into a double play, all that means is it'll be tied going into the 7th anyway. So you got a green walk and a Carp single. Those are your runners at first and second with 1 out for the Tigers. Cole Keith has a hand disadvantage here. So we'll see what they do. But Gaddis is exceptional. This is Keith, and that was a good swing, fouled on the first base line, but it is 0-2 now against the youngster. Again, for Colt Keith, still just 22 years of age. 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored. As we were looking on now for Cade Smith. He's watching on to see if Gaddis can get out of this. He is one of the very best, so you shouldn't have much worry if you're Cleveland anyway. 0-2. Runners are first and second, way high, intentional there, but Keith does not offer. Again, Keith does not get too big in most of these situations, regardless of where the count is. And that's the most important thing, especially for a young hitter, because sometimes that's hard to teach that trait. 1-2. Outside on a 4-seam, and as we got the up cam there, that was awfully close, just a baseball width outside the box. Make it 2-2. Hunter Gaddis is exceptional. And again, he's got the playoff beard right now. That definitely looks good as you're working through playoff baseball. 2-2. Colt Keith swings and misses. He went golfing on a slider, but you know what? Gaddis made an excellent pitch there, and that was probably close enough to entice a swing. And that is exactly why you have somebody like him in the bullpen to be able to make those kind of pitches. That is gorgeous work for Hunter Gaddis. And if you're Colt Keith, unless you come down and actually get that one as you did almost to one knee, I don't know what you do with that unless you try to see it early and take it. So Spencer Torkelson now will get pinch hit here for Winsell Perez. That is interesting because we never see Spencer Torkelson lead first, but they're doing it now. So Winsell Perez, 90, that one split the plate, man, oh man. If Winsell had an opportunity to do that over again, that would have been a big swing. But I'm interested now because for A.J. Hinch, we've never seen who's going to play first base in the interim. So that is something to watch. Winsell Perez. This is blocked by Naylor. Good one there because it keeps Carpenter at second. Green is still at first. It's 2 outs. Spencer Torkelson has been lifted for the pinch hitter. And again, that is not something that I can ever remember for A.J. Hinch doing at first. That's usually this position to take. So we'll see if that comes into play later in this game. We're in the bottom 6. It's a leverage at bat for Winsell Perez. 1-1. 90 miles an hour. This is sinking. It's going to fall. Runners go to the plate. It's Carpenter. Tigers take the lead. Winsell Perez pitch hit for Torkelson, and A.J. Hinch continues to press the buttons. The Tigers now out in front. You can't say A.J. Hinch doesn't know what he's doing. Now runners at first and third. That run's going to be charged to Case Smith. As this will just drop in again. This is the second time. That really did look like Parker Meadows' double to lead off. In the bottom of the first, it bounces in between Rocchio and Kwan. It's hit into no man's land. It's a very good defensive infield with a lot of speed. It's just in the perfect spot. McKinstry, big swing on a changeup. And if that was a fastball, it might have went right back down to left field to break this game open. 1-for-1 with a walk and a solo home run. The Tigers have taken the lead as it's 1st and 3rd in the bottom 6. And if the Tigers win, the first person I'm going to text is Cooper Hopkins. 95 miles an hour. You could bet on that. And you know he's waiting for it. I know he's traveling. He's managing around things in California. But even with a 3-hour time difference, I think he would welcome my text. I know he would. And I'm thinking of him. Same thing with Alec Nava, my grandma, my fiance's dad. Same thing, all diehard Tiger fans. 80 miles an hour on a changeup, and McKinstry somehow got a piece of that. Probably 5 feet out of the zone. Make it 0-2. Can the Tigers really do it? They need 9 more outs. It's an eternity left in a game like this. But they've taken the lead now 3-2. Pinch hit for Winsell Perez for Spencer Torkelson. McKinstry does not offer. Did it hit him? Yes, it did. Gaddis on an inside breaking ball, and it hit McKinstry. That loads the bases, and they say, you know what, boys, let's get warm quickly here in the bullpen. I'm not going to say they go to Emmanuel Clase now in the 7th. It hit him right in the left foot. So Trey Sweeney, who scored on a sacrifice fly earlier to make this a 1-1 game, gets the biggest at-bat in his young life. Bases loaded. Tigers have the lead with 2 outs. Trey Sweeney, he swings. First pitch, Ramirez, toss over. Sweeney's out. Tigers take the lead. Winsell Perez, with a pinch hit RBI single, gives the Tigers the lead 3-2 as we go to the 7th. Don't go anywhere, folks. This is getting spicy.
In fact, it's solid. It reminds me of a joke my mate told me. A knuckle, and he tries to walk into a corner.
It's easy to ride that. Official marker of Major League Baseball. Whatever you're into, Mercedes-Benz has an SUV for you. City shopping. You can get outdoor adventure.
So we've never seen Torque not play first base. He's been pinch hit for Winsell Perez, so his day is done.
Mercedes-Benz SUVs featuring the all-new GLC plug-in hybrid with a best-in-class EPA estimated electric range of 54 miles. Visit MBUSA.com for special offers on select SUVs.
To really embrace life, you just have to learn to let go. Let go. Let go. Did let go. Did you let go?
Why do dermatologists worldwide recommend La Roche-Posay? Effective skincare.
So Tigers take the lead, and Cade Smith, his pitching line is officially done. 1 earned run.
With a 38-degree launch, means a 40% chance that ball is out. Plus, it's 95 degrees out, so the ball is going to carry an extra 6.6 feet today. Talk about a hot day. Catch this like never before with Google Cloud AI.
So do me a favor, ladies and gentlemen. Again, Cleveland still can win this one and win the series if they can get Tarek Skubal in Game 5. They got to extend it today. If that starts to get close and the Tigers get that, can we start to get some yeses here in the vote? Make me feel a little bit better as a Trey fan. I'm not going to be bitter or anything for Cleveland and Ohio. Much love to them as well. I'm just happy that the AL Central is able to present as well as it can. I don't want this magical ride to end. Apparently, the Tigers don't want that either. Winsell Perez with a pinch hit RBI single in the 6th. Tigers up 3-2, but there's still a long way to go. So Tigers won't be denied. Winsell Perez now in right. Matt Vierling goes from right to first. Spencer Torkelson not in this game as he was pinch hit lifted for Perez, who came through. It's Sean Gunther now out of the bullpen. 17 games, 3-0, 0.86 ERA. And Junkinsey Noel, Big Christmas, I think that's got to be the best nickname in all of baseball, is now the new batter here for Cleveland. So let's go back up to their side of the order. And Noel, right to Sweeney. He's usually calm. That's a very close play. I don't know if Noel beat that out or not. Does Vogt want a challenge? They should. Junkinsey Noel, I don't know if Sweeney either took too much time. Noel does have some speed for a big man, and I think he made that awfully close. I think they should challenge this if you're Cleveland. You got nothing to lose here. As this, oh wow, that was awfully close. I think Sweeney did just get the throw in. Yes, before the foot tagged the bag, but good work for Junkinsey. He hustled his you-know-what off to get down the line, and he almost made that a nice play. So Brian Roquillo now will get an opportunity. You have to turn around the lefty and go to right. As a switchback, that's Bo Naylor that gets lifted. So you still got David Fry on the catching side. And again, he's a very good batting average type of catcher. I just don't think he has the type of defensive abilities. If you want to go straight defense, you got Austin Hedges. You want more of a bat, you got David Fry. Bo Brisky now starting to get warm for the Tigers. That makes me feel a little bit better because Brisky has been phenomenal. You never can tell, though, and then Will Vest is absolutely closed. Jason Foley's not gotten really another opportunity since almost giving it up in Game 1 alongside Jackson Jobe. But if the Tigers get off to a big lead, somebody might be called upon again, but pretty much everybody else has been called upon. And again, we don't see Spencer Torkelson not play first. They pinch it for Winslow Perez. He comes through. Vierling plays first. I guess Vierling plays everywhere. Hey, AJ Hinch just say, got to get the job done. That's what matters right now. Roquillo against Gunther. Not at 90 on a sinker. Foul straight back. Can't believe it myself as we're getting a little bit later into this ball game. It's top 7, but just to be calling Tigers playoff games. The Yankees have taken the lead at KC, and as we had the bottom one, it's 1-0. That's a very good swing for Roquillo. It's going to drive Parker Meadows back, but it's spacious at Comerica. 2 up, 2 down for Gunther here to start the top 7. Tigers have a 3-2 lead. They're trying to close out Cleveland right now to go to the ALCS. And the big thing is if they do that now, that will make sure that Tarek Skubal is available for Game 1 to start a new series rather than Game 5. Hey, if you need them, you use them. You got to get in the first place. So I don't think anybody's going to be upset either way. But that would be the best case scenario for Detroit. Stephen Kwan is very dangerous. 1 for 3 with a single. Again, that's spiked in the dirt. He's not going to offer up pitches that he shouldn't. Here, Tim Herron now starting to get warm. And then that also means Emmanuel Clase probably lurks. Here is a 2-0. This one right back up the middle. Good work there for Stephen Kwan. Kind of a la Luis Ariz. He's just someone that is an absolute pain that you cannot get out. If he was on a Tigers uniform, I know that would kind of take the spot of one of these corner outfielders, but that would be a dream for somebody that I would love to have at Comerica Park alongside Jose Ramirez. Now the main thing for the Tigers here with Kyle Manzardo off the lefty, and AJ says, you know what? We're making our change right now. Gunther takes the baseball. David Fry looks like he might be getting set to come in. Stephen Vogt with the change. We'll see. Bo Brisky comes on now to try to get the last out, top 7, 2 outs. Come right back.
Join for free and save through October 16th.
At Burger King, we flame grill our burgers. Why? Because that's how it should be done. Hot, juicy, smoky, flame grilled and made your way. Come experience the flame grill difference with 2 opportunities for just $5.
All right, we got home and all over, and you said time.
Thanks for the economy and all. Well, say economy.
Sorry.
What is it? The economy?
Yes. It is it's so many things.
Right.
Look, all you really need to know is that Progressive can save you money without sacrificing all your features. You follow?
Since inception, the Boys and Girls Club has been more than a fun place for kids to laugh and school. For some, it's been a second home where they can learn and grow. Thanks to the partnership between Major League Baseball and the Boys and Girls Club, children of all
3-2 Tigers have the lead. It looks like Bo Brisky is going to come to the mound, try to get the last out in the top of this seventh. Sean Gunther, 2/3 of an inning, 1 hit. He surrenders the one to Stephen Kwan, and they'll make the change. Bo Brisky is nasty out of the bullpen. He gets some close, he can get some starts. Oh, in the last couple of games, 2 days in a row in a regular season, Bo Brisky made back-to-back starts. So it is whatever you need for Mr. Brisky, alongside Tyler Holton, who has already been used. Reese Olson, 4 innings. Tyler Holton, 2. Gunther, 2/3. Bo Brisky now trying to get the final out. Bo Brisky now out to get the last part of this final out in the seventh. I think David Fry is the new batter here for Cleveland. That will lift Kyle Manzardo. Let me scroll through the Cleveland side of the notes here. So for David Fry, it's a righty. Try to get this matchup advantage between both of these squads as both managers go to their bullpen. Now they go to Brisky. Fry 2 for 10. Kwan's at first. It's 2 outs. If Kwan does steal, a single could score him. 96 is dotted from Bo. He does get up to 100 when he wants to. He can use any kind of pitch. He can throw some strikes. I don't know where the Tigers continue to find these guys, but Bo Brisky has kind of reinvented himself a little bit with his arm slot and his speed. 89. And on the hands, if this stays in play, it's 0-2. As the crowd of over 40,000 at Comerica Park was watching that one trail foul. The Red Wings now will start to get underway against the Pittsburgh Penguins. My hope is the Tigers finish this one off in through 9, and then we can watch the Red Wings try to get a win off the back-to-back for the Pens. That would be a great day in Detroit. 0-2 count against David Fry. Bo Brisky gets set to deliver. 97, he went with it. Good swing there for Fry. And this one will go straight back. Kansas City at the bat rack now with 2 outs, bottom 1. That getting underway. Kaufman, Pinstripers lead at 1-0. Main thing now for Brisky is to make sure to close up David Fry. So the only thing Jose Ramirez can do is lead off the 8th. Solo shot will only tie it. 0-2 pitch. Brisky from Rogers, 98 outside. And we'll do it again, make it 1-2. Bo Brisky's not afraid to throw some changeup as well, but his heat's about 100 miles an hour when he gets to it. He's got up to 98 on that last pitch. Jose Ramirez would be next if the pinch hitter David Fry will reach. 1-2. Does not offer. This gets by, and now a single could score a run. They still can't locate it. Stephen Kwan could have ran to third. He'll take his 90 feet, though, to second, but he could have ran to third. If Kwan would have known that, he probably would have taken 180 feet. This one was spiked in between the dirt. I don't think you want to get into a situation now where you walk David Fry because then you got Jose Ramirez. So Bo Brisky's got to make sure this fastball gets spiked in the dirt. Couldn't be caught by Rogers. No chance for him. But you got to make sure now this stays right where it is. So wild pitch. That moves Kwan to second. Single could tie the game. David Fry. 2-2 again. 98. He hits it very far to the right field side of the wall. It's gone. David Fry with a pinch hit 2-run bomb. And the Yankees, now I should say Yankees, but Guardians take the lead. I'm getting all over myself. The Guardians in a 2-run tank. This game goes back and forth. And Bo Brisky served it up on a fastball. That's a great swing for Fry. He absolutely killed that down the left field line. And the Guardians take the lead. This game back and forth, and that's a surprise against somebody like Bo Brisky. But at some point, we say one of these relievers that comes out of the Detroit bullpen has got to be due to give up some runs. It happened to Tyler Holton. It happens to Bo Brisky now. Let's see the location. This is down and in. And hello, sir, and goodbye, as fast as it is, for David Fry. 2-run jam, and now the Guardians up by a run. And Jose Ramirez doesn't have to worry about doing more damage. Of course, he wants to, but now the Guardians have the lead at 4-3. This is a very good ball game right now, regardless of who takes this one. This would make me all the more excited for Game 5 should we need it. And Jose Ramirez takes a big cut on a fastball, make it 2-1. That was blasted by David Fry. That was fastball down and away meets bat, and he did not miss it. So the time to press the buttons for Vogt, he did so, and that got a piece of Jake Rogers' hand. Boy, oh boy. So Bo Brisky comes out. He gives up the 2-run shot. One of those runs be charged to Gunther. One of those will be to Brisky. And the Guardians are not going away. They can't, because if they don't win this one, it's over. This has been a great baseball game right now between two teams that really want it. And again, for any question of whether or not the Tigers will fall apart, we'll see what happens on Saturday, whether it's win or lose. But they've been fighting this one to the end, and that was just a great swing from David Fry. He went down and got that fastball. Now he gets a sign from Rogers. Does Bo Brisky going to try to keep it right where it is? 88. No call there. Again, this is a well-called game behind the dish as well. Count is full against Jose. 1 for 4 with a double RBI and 3 walks versus Bo Brisky. So it's been nothing but success for the most part. Brisky, 96. Jose Ramirez with a pop-up. Who wants it? Trey Sweeney will camp underneath it, make the catch, but the Cleveland Guardians do the damage. It's David Fry, a 2-run shot, and now Cleveland's got the lead.
So many choices on Booking.com, like this waterfront hotel. Even Yankees fans are loving Boston.
No.
We're just keeping fans on the horizon while enjoying the hotel's view of the harbor. What's that with that? And their well-reviewed clam show.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And are those your kids dressed as Boston lobstermen?
Not our kids.
With millions of possibilities, you can be a fan of any
2-run home run for David Fry. And now the Guardians are back on front. I said Yankees during the live call. I'm falling all over myself right now. That scrambled my brain with the big hit. And you know why? It wasn't just because the Guardians took the lead, but they did it off of Bo Brisky. But that was an excellent swing for David Fry. You got to give him all sorts of credit there. He went down to go get that fastball. He really did. That was not a bad pitch for Brisky, but that was served. Left field has been the common denominator today. The hit tanks, and excellent ball game. This might come down to the wire, but you know what? This also gives another opportunity with Cleveland to now have the lead here against Detroit one more time for Emmanuel Clase to get his repentance.
We've never spoken, but you told us many things. That you love Stargates and hate our left targets. And occasionally, your right foot gets a little heavy. The Lexus ES didn't begin in the studio. It began with you.
So let's give you the update. We're going to go bottom 7. Cleveland now out in front again in this seesaw affair.
Like Feuerland and couch. Trust and Will is designed by attorneys, but customized by you. One question at a time. All documents are state specific, legally valid, and start at just $199. That's not a typo. Find the plan that's right for you at trustandwill.com.
Is this a okay? Oh, hi, I'm Peter, and this is my cat Henry. Henry and I are equals.
I had to make sure I just deleted a few characters to get that one all in. We're going to the bottom 7. Cleveland now has a 4-3 lead. Thank you guys for joining me with me in this one so far. It's been a fantastic baseball game. I doubt we're going to see anything like that all the way across the board for anything else that we get today. Who knows? But this one is about as good as it gets. The NHL scoreboard underway. The Red Wings in their opener, again, they had a little bit of a watch party at LCA. A little bit of an opener here. Alex DeBrincat gets the first goal of the year from Raymond and Larkin at 3:46. Again, Ville Husso in net against, let me make sure I get this correct here, Joel Blomqvist. So Jake Rogers, the Tigers are now behind once more. As we're checking back into the bottom of the seventh, we get set to stretch. David Fry certainly did his. A two-run jam gives the Guardians a go-ahead lead at 4-3. Again, the Royals and the Guardians in the L Central are fighting for their life. Austin Hedges is the defensive replacement at catcher, as you know he would be. Good set of hands. He's going to be able to get strikes called, and Jake Rogers gets punched out. That one too close to take. Good work there for Gaddis. So if Gaddis makes sure he keeps it clean here, they could decide to go ahead, and I'll go back into the Cleveland portion of the notes, because they still have, as we look into their bullpen side, they used Cade Smith, they used Hunter Gaddis. You still got Tim Herron on the left, and then Emmanuel Clase, who you know they're going to go right back to. At the bottom seven, where we are right now with the Tigers behind, this is the time usually Parker Meadows gets hot. And when you do that, that also means that there could be some fireworks. Who knows? I do expect Emmanuel Clase in his second effort here against Detroit to right the ship, but it will not be all hope lost for Detroit because they've took Skubal in Game 5 on Saturday if needed. The luxury was if the Tigers won today, they could start him in Game 1, whether they play the Yankees or the Royals. Right now, the Yankees got a 1-0 lead, top two. Parker Meadows waiting on a 1-1. Good pitch from Gaddis on a slider on the outside black. Make it 1-2. So Tim Herron is the guy to go to the eighth, and then Emmanuel Clase. It's shaping up right now for Stephen Vogt because of that home run that was just hit. Parker Meadows flare off the edge of the bat. Everybody being called up for Brian Rocchio as he makes the catch. A little bit of a shift there, but he had a lot of speed to go ahead and make it. And now that will leave it up to the Tigers to try to figure out what they want to do. As far as the handedness, I saw Jace Young starting to get warm. Kerry Carpenter didn't have the greatest at-bats today, so that could make sense on that end for AJ if he wants to do so. Now we see Jackson Jobe starting to get warm in the bullpen. That could make things interesting because the Tigers are behind, and they don't want to burn everybody else. But Jackson Jobe, when he was in for Game 1 of the wild card, he was greeted rudely in the seventh until the Tigers made other things happen in the eighth to take it from the Astros. So Jace Young, the new batter, he's going to relieve of Kerry Carpenter as it is 2-0. It's his first at-bat of the game against Hunter Gaddis. I'm going to try to get this lefty-righty side of it again to mix it across. Jace Young, 241 in the regular season, 2-0. They know that they say for Detroit that he's got a lot of promise, this 23-year-old. In his 34 career games, Josh Young had won a World Series with the Texas Rangers just last season. Is Emmanuel Clase waiting behind the cage, not getting warm just yet? Jake's big cut on a slider. That one split the dish, but he missed it 2-2. Don't want to throw that there. Now, Jace Young does not have a home run in his young career just yet. If you do that again, I think he could find his swing. That's what they're saying in the Tigers camp, at least. It's 2-2. Tigers now behind it. This is now 97 outside the plate. Thank you for joining in, Frankie. We'll bounce in and out. In between this and the YouTube side of it, John Reinhardt here with you on the call. That's the tag on the Twitter space and the YouTube side. Matt Bierling, he'll get a chance to get to the bat rack as Young draws the walk. Keith does the same. Young does the same. These young hitters use their eye. They try not to get too big. That's what we talk about up and down the lineup here. Ball 4. Now Matt Bierling 0 for 3 with a strikeout. 257 for the Tigers in the regular season. 16 home runs, 57 RBI, 80 runs scored, 41 walks, 121 strikeouts. Pitching coach comes out here for Cleveland. That might be the end of the day for Gaddis. Bierling at first, but they want to make sure to give him a breather as well. Very slow toll out to the mound. If Bierling does keep anything going, it would be Riley Green, Cole Keith, and Wencel Perez, who is in the 6th hole now, as Spencer Torkelson has already been pinch hit. Tim Herron now waiting on the other side. Feels like he is already warm. They're going to give Gaddis at least one more batter here. That's what it seems to be. Kansas City will get a chance to bat next. They're still 1-0 down to the Yankees. They're down in the series 2-1. They got to win to try to go to the Bronx in a couple of days. 0 for 3 with a strikeout for Bierling. He went to the postseason with the Philadelphia Phillies, who've already been eliminated. Bierling trying to come through or at least extend the inning. 91 on a slider, low and outside, making 1-0 against the Tigers' first baseman. Again, he's normally third, right field, plays everywhere. He's at first now as Torkelson's been pinch hit. 1-0 against Matt. Hunter Gaddis gets set to deliver pitch number 29. This time a fastball in the same spot. Make it 2-0. Riley Green would be next, followed by Colt Keith, but it is 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. Jace Young is at first. He took the place of Kerry Carpenter at DH. Matt Vierling will offer at a slider at 90, was out in front of it, but this one fouled on the first base line. We'll continue to monitor during the break alongside local coverage for the Red Wings. 2-1 is the count against Matt Vierling. Tigers down a run. It's 4-3 Cleveland, bottom 7. Vierling, Q shot foul. Make it 2-2. Again, if you want to follow along on the MLB app, you can sync up your TV to Dan Dickerson for Detroit. Same thing for Cleveland's side of it. They have the calls. If not, I'll give you the full play-by-play. I'll try to be as neutral as possible, although I know what's riding on the line right now. But it is AL Central teams. This is pretty cool. 2-2. Here for Vierling. Gaddis trying to put him away. That is a Donna change-up, and Vierling is going to sit down. That ends the Tigers' 7th, and we know what could be lurking. Heron and Clase in the 8th and 9th. Tigers are going to run out of time. Cleveland's going to try to add to it. It's a 4-3 game for the land as we go to the 8th.
Why this?
I want to be stuck behind the desk.
How on your own?
I won't be alone. I'll be a part of a team, making an impact. So what do you say, Mom?
Our energy turns pride into a transformative experience. It takes hunger and makes it
We'll see if Cleveland extends any sort of celebrations to Saturday. That's their goal right now. The Tigers need one more run to at least try to tie this thing.
Visit your local Acura dealer for attractive offers.
As we go to the 8th, it's 4-3 Cleveland. NHL Live scoreboard still helps to Brinket with the opening goal for Detroit as they lead 1-0 on Pittsburgh. It'll be Pittsburgh's second game off the back-to-back, New York and then Detroit. That's a tough start for them, but it's home and road. Stars and Preds, Stamkos and Jonathan Marchessault make their debut for Nashville, as it's a star-studded matchup, and that is pun intended, between the Stars and Preds in the Central. It's 2 playoff teams playing against each other, most likely. Macklin Celebrini makes his NHL debut with the Sharks, 10:30 Eastern, ESPN Plus, against the St. Louis Blues, who are 1-0 after the comeback from the Kraken. Maple Leafs all over the Devils here, 3-1. They got shut out just the other day, courtesy of Sam Montembeault, but not right now, as the Devils are trailing with 5:27 in the second. Senators up 2-0 on the Cats.
Check out my home Square and T-Mobile to get the new iPhone 16 Pro built after the test. Now at T-Mobile.com, get the new iPhone 16 Pro on us.
KC goes quietly top 2. It's 1-0 Yankees. And the other game as we get set for the third. In our featured game, we go to the 8th. The Guardians have a 4-3 lead over Detroit.
Sundays 9 Eastern exclusively on Max. Big home runs in this game. David Fry with a 2-run blast and flipped that scoreboard to 4-3 Cleveland. We are in the 8th. Jackson Joe, the rookie, will face Naylor. First ball swing.
The last time we saw Jackson Jobe on the mound was in the 7th inning in the wild card of Game 1 against Houston when he was greeted a little rudely. The game was on fire with the rope. It did not get away. Tigers came back in the 8th and figured it out. Jackson Jobe, 1 pitch, 1 out in the regular season, 2 games, 4 innings, 2 strikeouts, 1 walk, an opponent's batting average of .071. In the postseason, 2 hits, 2 earned run, and a blown save opportunity if it was there for him, but not technically. So Jackson Jobe had a chance to get to settle down now, and now he's at the home park trying to get the 8th for the Tigers. So this is one of the future arms right out of high school just 3 seasons ago for Detroit. He had to deal a little bit with Tommy John, but he still brings it about 99 to 100, and he's got a devastating off-speed pitch when he needs to go to it. Lane Thomas is at an excellent day. A couple of singles and an RBI as Cleveland wants to try to add to their lead. It's 4-3 Cleveland, top 8 with 1 out. 86 on a changeup, make it 2-2. So Jackson Jobe, this is big for him. You know he's got the extra heartbeat, but at least for AJ, he was able to sneak him into the wild card, so hoping to be a little more gathered at 84 on a changeup, right on the inside of the hands, not close, make it a full count. While Brennan and Andres Jimenez will be 6 and 7 in this order as we get set to go. 100 miles an hour. This is toward right field. Winsell Perez racing. He will get to it. And the Tigers turn the first 2 away. Jackson Jobe, 7 pitches, 2 outs. So good start for him. And again, I want to see that going forward for Jackson. Win, lose, or draw, whenever he does come into the game for Detroit, just to try to get outs, be quick and efficient, work your way on an MLB mound, and start to feel comfortable. We know the young man has confidence, but that is only good things for Detroit going forward. 83 on a sweeper. That was nasty as he caught the bottom right side of the box. He's still 22. Again, a 3rd overall pick from 3 seasons ago out of Irving, Texas. Another sweeper at 82 in the same spot. And this will be looked at. Make it 0-2. The crowd rises to their feet. Their team is only down 1 run. They got 6 outs to play with. 87 crushed. Is it going to stay in the ballpark? Whoa, it dropped out of Perez's glove. It does stay in. He almost made a great play. A double here for Will Brennan. I guess for the Tigers, they'll take it. I thought that might have left on the right field side. It took Jobe all the way to the wall with that pitch, and Perez dove at it. He just missed it with the glove up against the wall. He tried to make a great play. He did all he could, but at least it's only a double right now. So Andres Jimenez, batter number 7, will get an opportunity here with a runner at second. This is a big opportunity for Jackson Jobe to strand this runner. They really need to right now. 98, this one in the zone. Now, as Jackson Jobe will continue to learn and gain confidence on the mound, it's when to mix in strikes and balls to keep the batters off, leverage, to make sure they're not sitting on anything. But he's got a lot to learn still in the major league level. He's got the ability, he's got the speed as far as for the pitches, but I think if it's a young pitcher, you want to attack them when they throw strikes, kind of kill their confidence. This is a good early run for Cleveland to get. Should they get it, they can make it 5-3. And that could kind of take away the game considering who's left in the bullpen here for Stephen Vogt. This is across the middle. Keith, diving play, out at first of Earling. Colt Keith with a sparkling defensive play. And that keeps the scoreline right where it is. He saved a run for the Tigers. We'll go bottom 8. Tigers need a run. They got 6 outs to work with, but they know they got Heron and Classe in the bullpen. Colt Keith, spectacular play diving at second, and that saves a run for Jackson Jobe. Let's go to the bottom 8.
Lowe's knows when you get a big deal, you feel like a big deal. Members save on hundreds of deals in store and online. It's everything. Join for free and save for October 16th.
Here at Once Upon a Farm, we took the One Venture X business card. No presets and our purchasing power adapts to meet our business needs. And unlimited double miles means we earn more too. Let's see, roll up.
So the game is still 4-3 Cleveland, and that's thanks to Cole Keith. If he does not make that diving play at second, the run definitely does score, and the Cleveland Guardians would have had an extra run. But as it is, you get a chance in the bottom eighth for Detroit in their final 6 outs, only down 1 run. They're going to have to do it against Tim Herron and Emmanuel Clase. It'll be Riley Green in the middle of the order here for Detroit. Right now, it's Green, Keith, and Winsell Perez. Lefty short. We'll see if AJ wants to press any more buttons. They've used Young. They've used Perez. Torkelson is gone. Perez still in, and so is Young. But Andy Ibanez, Justin Henry Malloy, and Dylan Dingler remain the pinch hitters left on the bench should AJ Hinch see fit, as the Tigers need at least one more run in the bottom of the eighth as we get set to get underway. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for following along on the YouTube portion of this box. Same thing on Twitter Spaces at John Raynott. As always, I appreciate it. This one's been a lot of fun to call. I feel and I hope, with the exception of accidentally calling the Guardians the Yankees once, I apologize. I feel and I hope that I've called this game kind of fair down the middle, all the way across the board. That's what I want. Sometimes it's harder to do when you got a diehard team the other way because I'm not really a professional, but we've been doing these games for years now, in between the NBA, NHL, and Major League Baseball. So we've gotten in our rhythm. We've had some fun with it. And we'll see what the rest of the Tigers' journey in Cleveland, for that matter, will take us. So Cole Keith makes a fantastic play. That stops the top of the eighth for Cleveland. Now, Tim Herron is a new pitcher of record. 93 is dotted on the inside black. And Cole Keith pumps his fist and lets out that primal scream. And Jose Ramirez just bangs the part of the benches because he knows, like, man, that was hit really well. It was just a good play. Riley Green will serve a line drive in the center field. And Lane Thomas will play it off a hop. So Riley Green has got a base hit. Tigers have a runner at first. This is a team that will not go away. They've been known as the Gritty Tigers. The gritty sweet shirt that Tarek Skubal will have of the Fangraphs from the no playoff odds all the way to the up. You've seen that. You've seen the signs. Somebody let the Tigers get hot. All that could end as soon as Saturday, but it's still a feel-good story. Don't tell that to these fans because they've been able to sell out 40,000 at Comerica Park. This is right at it is Andy Ibanez. He is the new pinch hitter here for Colt Keith in that side of the lineup. So Colt Keith makes the play. His day is done. Andy Ibanez is now trying to come in. He was the hero in Game 2 of the wild card with a 3-run shot down the line. Ibanez now 96. This is to right field, backing up toward the track, making the catch. Just shy of the wall, Andy Ibanez put a scare into the minds of the Cleveland Guardians, but that is just a long flyout toward right field. It's a pretty good work there for Andy Ibanez. He just missed that one. As let me make sure again, who is in right field side today is Will Brennan, who's had a pretty good day. He just got a double. Wasn't able to score though because of Keith's fantastic play. Winsell Perez last up with an RBI single, which gave the Tigers the lead, and then a 2-run jam for David Fry kind of set that all up right now to where they can go from Herron and Emmanuel Clase. So it's very important for the Tigers in the ninth to try to keep it right where it is because you can't expect to always score those runs against Clase. Perez, this is through the hole at short past Jimenez. Now runners at first and second. Winsell Perez off the bench, 2 for 2 today as they continue to try to move this across the lineup so the runners go up 90 feet from first and second. That was in the 6th hole. So the lefty bat now of Zach McKinstry in third. You do have Andy Abanez, who you just used. You used Jace Young. The only ones you got left is Justin Henry Malloy. Are they going to go ahead and grab the baseball from Heron now? They're going to go for Clase for the good old 5-out save. We're doing this again. One of the best bullpen arms in all of baseball comes in. A 5-out save here for Cleveland. Heron's day is done.
If you have chronic kidney disease, you can reduce the risk of kidney failure with Farxiga, because there are places you'd like to be. Farxiga can cause serious side effects, including ketoacidosis that may be fatal, dehydration, urinary tract, and genital yeast infections, and low blood sugar. A rare life-threatening bacterial infection in the skin or palm could occur. Stop taking Farxiga and call your doctor right away if you have symptoms of this infection, an allergic reaction, or ketoacidosis.
So let's set this up here in a moment. Go to Cleveland and their pitching line. So Heron responsible for runners at first and second. Clase's coming in for the 5-out save. Last time he was burned by Kerry Carpenter in Game 2. That's the last we saw of Emmanuel Clase. I don't think that it's going to happen again. You never know. You can tell, because if not for Tarek Skubal for the Tigers, you could be giving the AL Cy Young to Emmanuel Clase out of the bullpen. He was that good this year.
Another topsy-turvy affair in Game 4. Huge home runs. David Fry made it 4-3 Guardians. Tigers have 2-0.
It's been a well-played game. I imagine a well-called game for Ryan Anderson and Jeff Francoeur, this time on TNT. TBS carrying the Yankees and KC. Emmanuel Clase is out for the 5-out save. Zach McKinstry will be the first to do battle here against the new pitcher. Again, if it wasn't for Tarek Skubal, Emmanuel Clase would be your AL Cy Young Award winner. Now, pitch calm situation with the batteries here between Clase and Austin Hedges. Clase's got the Christmas colors, maybe in honor of Big Christmas, John Kenzie Noel, as far as his dreads. It's a pretty cool look there for Clase, as we know what kind of customer he is. Devastating cutters. It was one too many sliders against Kerry Carpenter that gave the Tigers a 3-0 victory in Game 2. 2 3-0s after a 7-0 opening for the Guardians in Game 1. It's been all shutouts up until today. 101 cutter inside. 1-for-1 with a walk and a solo home run for Zach McKinstry. He's feeling himself today. Main thing now is advance those runners. That's the most important part for McKinstry. This is 101. This is a jam shot. Too soft to turn 2. So they will advance the runners for Detroit in the form of Zach McKinstry. So he did at least that. And now we'll be up to Trace Sweeney and Jake Rogers. Trace Sweeney is the last hope in the 8th. Clase, this is his game for the rest of the day. He's got 4 outs to get the Guardians to a Game 5 and a winner-take-all to go to the ALCS. They're up 4-3 right now. Tigers got 4 outs to play with. Trace Sweeney has a grand opportunity here. 102 on a cutter inside. So Clase not messing around right now. He is not going sliders. He's throwing cutters. Again, he got burned with that hanging slider from Kerry Carpenter, who's not in this ball game now. So he'll be happy with that. He's going with his best pitch, as he should. 0-1. 100-mile-an-hour on the cutter high. It was in. A swing and strike, it was high, a swing and strike. Both of those would have been 2-0 instead of 0-2. Sweeney looks like he's probably going to be overmatched here. And that's just the way it is. It's a young man against the best in the world right now, and definitely advantage for Cleveland. You know what you got here. Sweeney, 0-2, 99 on a cutter, and Edges catches that one. Sweeney lays off. Jake Rogers would be next. Again, if the Tigers can keep this at 4-3, they would have Rogers, Meadows, and whoever they got now in the second spot as they mix that around. Sweeney, 99, and on the hands would have been a ball again. None of these have been strikes right now. So Sweeney could have already walked. They've been inside and high. They've not been close. But it's 1-2. Runners at second and third. One more run would at least tie the game. Trace Sweeney trying to come through in a leverage at bat right now. Everybody to their feet right now, Comerica. 1-2 pitch. Inside on a cutter and swung through. Class A does the job, and he strands the runners at second and third. Now Cleveland, if they can add some runs, they could really put striking distance away from Detroit here in Game 4. Let's go to the ninth. It's 4-3 Cleveland. I think we're going 9 today, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think we're going extras. That's what I'm saying. I'm preparing myself for a Game 5.
Look what I just made. The perfect pearl. Not too bad, but check this out.
I didn't even know you were home.
Whoa, a true Venus flam.
Look at you.
You crazy? Your chances.
If you're in a horror movie, you make 4 decisions. That's what you do. If you want to save on car insurance, you switch to Geico. It's what you do.
Why settle for less when you can get the new $7 Bucks Cravings Box from Taco Bell? Because an indulgent beefy 5-layer burrito is luxurious. A crunchy Doritos Locos taco is opulent. The chicken chalupa supreme piled high with deliciousness, lavish. Chips, nacho cheese sauce, and medium drink. The only thing that's not less about it is the price. It's Lux for less. The new $7 Bucks Cravings Box, only at Taco Bell.
That's the skill, hello, bakers. My beautiful creation, baking championship.
Let's experiment.
Masterpieces have looked like a nightmare, but it's like a dream. With the unleashed into the world.
Am I missing a finger? It is the stuff of nightmares.
It's mad, I tell you, mad! Oh, our Baking Championship, Monday night at 9 on Food Network. Stream on Discovery Plus and Max.
Your greatest mistake was being alive at the same time as me.
So we're going to get settled for crunch time here. Still 4-3 Cleveland as we go top 9. David Fry's pitch hit 2-run home run is the difference maker right now. And that last happened in the 7th. So guess who still gets the 9th inning? It's Jackson Jobe right now against Austin Hedges. Hedges, not one of those guys that you would expect to do a ton of damage. But if you're Austin and you get a fastball, you got to go right after Jackson Jobe. That's what I would think. I don't know. Okay, that was a ball. That was awfully close there. I didn't know if Hedges was going to get the call as a catcher as well. 97 gets overmatched. Make it 1-2. Emmanuel Clase knows what the job is at hand. He was brought on to get the final 5 outs. They're going to go for that save for Stephen Vogt. He's done it before. He's used to it, especially in the postseason. 1-2. And this is looped. Pretty good hit there for Hedges, but it'll be right to Riley Green. 1 up, 1 down to start the 9th. It's important that the Tigers try to keep that as close as where it is because Emmanuel Clase, again, as we said, he gave up the slider from Kerry Carpenter, but he's not in the ball game anymore. He's going right out with the cutters now. I think he learned his lesson in the sense of it. And you don't expect anytime Emmanuel Clase to come onto the mound that he gives up any runs. No, I don't either. You can't at this point. So Rocchio, 98, will be right by from Jackson Jobe. 4-3, Guardians still have the lead. Again, in the local scoreboard here, Red Wings and Penguins tied at 1 in the home opener at LCA. Inside, again, that was delayed a little bit of a start because of the Tigers game. So very good on the Red Wings that at least if the Tigers don't fulfill their bill, we'll be back on Saturday to cover it, but then I can watch the Red Wings and be happy. So don't miss both games completely. So that's good. I'm glad they did that. Still waiting for business, though, with Jackson Jobe. 0-2, trying to get away Rocchio and Hedges. Already got Hedges, now 87 on a changeup. Jackson Jobe. Pretty cool to see him get his second inning of work here for Detroit. Again, as this moves forward, the only extra confidence to just breed more at this point, especially in the postseason with a young man like himself. Because I imagine coming back down from the bullpen, who knows, future starter or whatnot, but Jackson Jobe seems to be the real deal. 3 straight pitches missed low. And for Rocchio right now, Will Vest starting to warm. If they can keep Will Vest and make sure they don't have to use him, that would be great because you got Skubal on Saturday. 99. This is line drive right across and splits the plate. So it's a shame he had a 0-2 count advantage, and Rocchio gets a fastball right down the middle. He's understandably pumped. That's just not good location there for Jackson Jobe to miss that one right down the middle. You had the count advantage. You should have went after them with a couple extra chances for strikes. And now you're going to give one up to Stephen Kwan, who is not going to chase. So if you're going to burn Will Vest here, this probably will be the time to do so. 96 here from Stephen Kwan. I think he's just going to survey. That's the right way I'm going to say it there for Kwan. Very patient, and he knows exactly what he wants to look for in any sort of pitcher, no matter what it is. 0-1. 98 way outside. Make it 1-1. He's trying to come through is Stephen Kwan, as Cleveland's already up 4-3, but to try to get a couple extra runs here for insurance for Class A. Toss over for Jackson Jobe as he uses the first disengagement to the new first baseman and Matt Bierling over the last couple of innings. Again, the pitch hit go-ahead RBI single for Winslow Perez stood up until David Fry hit a 2-run jam for Cleveland, made it 4-3. So the Land's got the lead right now, 96, and Stephen Kwan just looks unbothered as he'll follow that foul down the right field line. KC going to go to the bat rack, bottom 4. They're down 1-0. It's 4-3 in our featured game. We're in the top of the 9th. Comerica Park, they get a chance to host 2 playoff games. They want more, but they're going to need at least one more win. 80 miles an hour on a sweeper, and Kwan was right on that. Class A looks none too bothered either, as he's just stretching out. He's kind of zoned in. Jose Ramirez has that serious machine-like in his eyes that we usually see. He wants another chance to get back to the bat rack. 98. Runner goes, hit and run on, and that's the luxury you have when you got Stephen Kwan. And now with Jackson Jobe, this is a time where if AJ wants to go get him, I think you got to do it right now. You don't not necessarily want to burn Will Vest and make him throw a million pitches because you want to keep him for Saturday. But if you want to try to win this game right now, I don't think you can afford to give up too many more runs. You're down 1, and our Emmanuel Clase is already on the mound, and Stephen Kwan has his 3rd hit of the ball game. There really isn't anything this guy can't do. He gets to every baseball. He plays premium defense. He's got great speed. You can put the hit and run on because you trust him to go ahead and make contact with the baseball at all times. It's a fantastic luxury. AJ will call the bullpen now. Will Vest will try to take out the fire with runners at 1st and 3rd, top 9.
Now that I've got the credit cards from Credit Karma, I believe you're looking for something. If the card has the Karma guarantee, it'll give you $50 if I don't get approved. You know I'm so Get approved or get $50 on offers with the Karma guarantee.
Amazon Fall favorites are here. Save on fashion, home, beauty, and more. Shop Amazon Fall favorites now.
So Jackson Jobe gets chased out, and you think he would. Again, he's still too young as far, but you know what? You give him some look. You got Tarek Skubal on Saturday. I think it's the right call for AJ Hinch, because it's going to be all hands on deck if they don't win this one for both teams in Game 5. You're going to use whatever you can in the biggest luxury situation to get outs. And it is a privilege to be able to play in a elimination type game for both of these teams. You don't take that for granted. So, Jackson Joe, it's an inning and a third. Responsible for first and third. And for Job, it is 3 hits. Let's get back into this play-by-play here in a big moment. So Kwan and Rocchio occupy the corners. 1 out. Top 9. Will Vest is going to spell Jackson Job. David Fry is the hero right now for Cleveland. He had a 2-run home run. This is a sacrifice. Throw to the plate. Tag. Not in time. Cleveland executed perfectly. And David Fry adds to his hero status with an extra run for Cleveland. Beautiful play there. Coming right in off the bench, hitting a 2-run home run. And then pretty much a sacrifice bunt doesn't get anybody. And that one is going to be charged to Jackson Job. But David Fry has been the hero, does the job. And that slide is in there before Rogers can apply the tag. That is gorgeous baseball. And now you have Jose Ramirez with runners at first and second. Excellent job there for Cleveland. They take a 2-run lead over Detroit. It's 5-3. So Jose Ramirez now, he could absolutely put the kill shot into this game if they apply it to Will Vest. Home run's going to end this game right now. It's a 2-run lead for Cleveland. It's 5-3, and Clase's on to get a 5-out save. He's already got 2. He's just got to work the bottom of the 9th. Will Vest. So that run is charged to Job. And the main thing now for me, I don't think the Tigers are winning this game. I said this going into the open of this one today on Thursday. But I do not want Will Vest to be throwing 25 pitches because there's a situation where Jose Ramirez, this is pulled, fouled on the right field line. That had the distance. That would have been 8-3. But I don't want Will Vest throwing 25 pitches because it's one of the guys that I expect. Yes, you bounce right back with Holton, who gave up a run in this game. Brisky, who gave up the 2-run tank to David Fry. David Fry's got 3 RBI in this game. He has been the hero. Jose Ramirez with a shot, and the same thing with Lane Thomas, RBI single to open. Jose, 96. Swing and a miss. Will Vest does the job there. He's got to get 1 more out for Detroit to keep this right where it is at 5-3. But David Fry, he's my hero, no doubt, in this game for Cleveland. We try to extend this to Game 5. I don't think that there was a lot of people picking Detroit to beat Cleveland. I think there was some people picking Detroit to beat Houston because it's a 3-game series. 96. Naylor very upset with himself. He pops it up to Riley Green. So Will Vest gives up 1. It's charged to Job. It's 5-3. So it's only 2. But Emmanuel Clase is on the mound trying to close it. David Fry, a fantastic play. It'll be Rogers, Meadow, and Young. 9-1-2, bottom 9. Let's close it out. So Cleveland monster run in the 9th. makes it 5-3. Now, I know the story is not over yet until the Detroit Bats are done, but I'm going to go ahead and mark the particulars just in case it is over. 5 runs, 11 hits, no errors. And then we'll see what the Tigers get. I can't mark them final just yet. But Cleveland hadn't scored any runs in 2 games. Now they get a 5-3 lead. Clase trying to get the last 3 outs of the 9th. It would be a 5-out save for Cleveland. At worst, if the Tigers don't win this one, I'll be back with you on Saturday as Tarek Skubal takes the mound. Tarek Skubal's probably going to give up some runs. He's due for that at some point. He's not surrendered anything in the postseason yet, but that's not going to last forever. And I expect this one to be another tight game. It's 5-3 now, and this one, as we go bottom 9, Cleveland ahead. There could probably be 2 runs or less for Cleveland, with Skubal probably through 7, I would imagine, on Saturday. This is a fun series, and it looks like it's not going to end just yet. But we'll see what the Tigers have in store. So last call for the Tigers here for Cleveland. You got to feel good. You hadn't had any runs in the last 2 games. Again, coming into this, they were still outscoring the Tigers pretty much 7-6 through the first 3 games because they won 7-0 and then 2-3-0 shutouts for the Tigers. It's been all shutouts, but now the Tigers have to answer with an extra run to at least try to tie it. Emmanuel Clase back out there trying to get a 5-out save as they will go through the bottom part of the Tigers' order. Looks like Justin Henry Malloy will get his chance. So the Tigers now, the only one they have not used is Dylan Dingler as the catcher. So Trey Sweeney will be moved for Justin Henry Malloy. I guess they'll figure out the shortstop after. And then Jake Rogers and Parker Meadows. 92. This on a slider, a little bit low. Make it 1-0. For Justin Henry Malloy, it's his first pinch hit now. He'll get an opportunity. He kills one side and doesn't kill the other. But they're calling on it right now for A.J. Hinch. 99! Justin Henry Malloy down the line. This is fair. It's a double at least, maybe more. Stephen Kwan makes the throw, and Malloy will stay at second. I think that's the right call. You don't want to get too greedy. Tigers have a runner at second on the bottom 9. Justin Henry Malloy, the pinch hitter for both A.J. Hinch and Stephen Vogt. They have really come to roost. He got a pitch right down the middle on a cutter that did not cut. And that was grooved down the left field line fair and across the line. And Justin Henry Malloy makes sure the job's not done yet. I don't want to click ahead of my ESPN box because I think that'll be ahead of what I'm seeing on the TV side. That's going to call outs before I see it. So let's just do it. So that was for Jake Rogers. Now Parker Meadows, big swing. This will advance Malloy. So that was the 9 portion of the order. So Malloy at third, but the Tigers need at least one more base runner if they want to think about any heroics. The main point right now is trying to tie this game up. It's Jace Young and Matt Vierling. Now for Jace Young, his previous plate appearance was a walk. Hasn't had a lot of time. Again, just 34 career games played, making 35 now. He did not have an appearance in the wild card against Houston. I know he could have been pinched it before, another one against Cleveland, but not a lot of games under his belt against the best in the business in Emmanuel Clase. Malloy at third with 1 out. Meadows off the sacrifice. 101. This will score the run, but it's 2 outs. So sacrifice scores Malloy. It's 5-4, but there's 2 outs left. There's 2 outs in this game, I should say. 1 out left to go, and I think it's going to leave it up to Matt Vierling. So Clase gives up the run. That just caught in his glove. Holy cow. He almost dropped that one going to first as he had to snow cone it. So Matt Vierling, the last hope for Detroit. It's a 5-4 game. Vierling 100 followed straight back. Can't say this game wasn't entertaining. even if it doesn't go the Tigers' way. But David Fry, that was a massive RBI that he got, just trying to sacrifice with the bunt, gave them an extra run. Otherwise, this game would have been tied. 0-1 against Veerling. Clase trying to get a 5-out save, but before that, we'll have a meeting on the mound with Austin Hedges as you get the courtesy boos from the home team as you usually do at Comerica Park. John out here with you. We're looking to close this one out. That's what Cleveland wants to do with Emmanuel Clase. If that happens, I'll be back here with you on Saturday. I can't go anywhere. I plan on covering the Red Wings game, but I just can't do it if the Tigers are going for a winner-take-all on the ALCS. So the Stamkos Marceau look, we'll have to wait. If the Tigers don't score at least one more run to extend it, maybe try to win it. 0-1 is the count against Matt Veerling. Tigers are down to their final out. Again, if they lose, it'll be a winner-take-all in Game 5 in Progressive on Saturday. But Tarek Skubal will be on the mound. That's what the Tigers have to look forward to. 5-4 is your score. Matt Veerling, the last hope. Veerling, 101. That was a come and get it, and Veerling wasn't ready for it. Make it 0-2. Tigers down to their final strike. Cleveland trying to make this a 2-2 series tie. Gut check time for the Tigers. Clase, I think he's going to come through. We'll see. 0-2. Hunter on a cutter, not close. Make it 1-2 as the count continues to build and the pressure beckons. I've had so much fun on this call. I think I tried to be as best as I could about both sides across. Veerling waiting on the 1-2. He went! And the Cleveland Guardians force a Game 5. We'll see you here on Saturday. Tarek Skubal will be on the mound. They snap an 11-game losing streak when facing elimination. God, I didn't realize it was that long. So for Cleveland, it's not over yet. It's going to set up a winner-take-all in the ALCS for Game 5. Tarek Skubal will be on the mound, and I will see you then. I guess it's going to cancel out the Red Wings game, but it doesn't mean I'm not going to watch them once this is all done. Ladies and gentlemen, this was a fun one. Tigers tried to make it interesting several times, but David Fry, he's the hero. That's what I'm going with in the story. An extra run in the ninth proves to be the difference. Cleveland takes this one. They tie the best of 5, 2 games apiece, and we'll figure out what happens on Saturday. Please join me then. Have a good one, everybody. Peace.